is a production of Guthrie Football, 4-time state champions.
Staley gets the snap. He's running with it left side. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Guy Staley and the Blue Jays regain the lead.
Next time that I talk to you, I will be talking to the greatest team in Guthrie High School history.
The Blue Jays are looking to add yet another gold ball made of Guthrie blue.
Ryan Dunn takes the snap, and there you have it. The 2011 Class 5A state champions are your very own Guthrie Blue Jays for the third time in school history, and they have dashed onto the field. Motion to the left side. They run to the left side with Alexander across the 5 to the 1. Touchdown! Ida Alexander! And for the fourth time in school history, the Guthrie Blue Jays are your Class 5A state champions and strike up the band one final time.
One thing that will never be replaced is MTXE. Mental toughness, extra effort.
It's being determined to win in the face of all odds, all obstacles, and coming together as a unit to accomplish that. Year after year, the Blue Jay offense is amongst the most prolific offenses in all of Class 5A.
Option reverse to Callens. Callens looking for throw. Wide open. Blaze Hastings, can they connect? He does! Touchdown, Blue Jays! Reverse pass, and the Blue Jays are on the board. Strike up the band!
It's that time again. It's time for Blue Jay football.
Hit hard. Landry Chapel gets every Blue Jay fan off their seat.
It's now.
Strike up the band!
On the Guthrie Radio Network.
Guthrie football. Open up minds. It's time to go.
Launch authorization received. Countdown sequence initiated.
3, 2, 1.
Guthrie Football 2018 is brought to you by Interbank, strengthening our communities through community banking. Golden Chick, the original and still the best. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world. John Vance Auto Group, where it's comfortable to buy a car. Guthrie North Church, love God, love people, follow Jesus. Mercy Hospital, Logan County, your life is our life's work. And Eskridge Chevrolet, a name you can trust for over 50 years. Guthrie Blue Jay Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, Signal Financial Management, Guthrie Tag Agency, A-Team Overhead Door, Nelson Monument Company, Hayes Funeral Home, Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33, and Merritt Roberts Farm Bureau, Oklahoma.
Welcome to Guthrie Football. The following is a production of Guthrie Football, spanning across the Blue Jay Radio Network.
Throws it up for Dante Boston, a triple coverage. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me?
Now, let's go live to the stadium with the voice of the Blue Jays, Chris Evans, and tonight's Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show.
After an almost picture-perfect Week 0 for the Guthrie Blue Jays in Enid, the Royal Blue and White are now set to open up the Rock tonight. Welcome to Guthrie Blue Jay Football. Good evening, I'm Chris Evans, and this is the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show for tonight's contest between the Guthrie Blue Jays and the Shawnee Wolves. Thanks for joining us on the network on Hot 93.7 FM and online at Guthrie Sports Page, Guthrie News Page, and the Guthrie News Page mobile app. The Blue Jays are coming off an impressive 57-19 win over Enid, where they scored 5 defensive touchdowns. Now, here in Week 1, the Jays will be challenged by yet another 6A school in Shawnee. The Wolves are coming off an emotional 35-34 overtime loss to Choctaw. We have seen some great contests over the years between these two teams, especially here in Guthrie. We expect the same tonight as we open up Jelsma for the home opener. Still more to come as we count down to kickoff. You're listening to the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show on the Blue Jay Radio Network.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years. I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, track, or court, but in the classroom as well. If integrity, honesty, and accessibility are important to you, call Farm Bureau at 620-4920 and ask for Merritt. I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Bluejays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Bluejays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
Accepting the loss of a loved one is the hardest thing we will ever have to do. At Nelson Monument Company, formerly Warren Monument Company, we aim to make selecting a memorial an easy and healing process. With our compassionate service, state-of-the-art design software, and our new and improved facility, we offer the best overall experience in the industry. Nelson Monument Company, located at 5305 South Division Street in Guthrie. Give us a call at 405-282-3220.
Hi, this is Asa Nelson, and from our family to yours, we would be honored to gain your trust.
Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show continues on Hot 93.7 FM. The Guthrie Blue Jays enter week 1 of the high school football season with a lot of confidence following last week's convincing win in Enid. However, the Jays have had to refocus this week with not only another 6A opponent on the schedule, but an opponent coming off an emotional overtime loss. This season, the Shawnee Wolves have made the move from 5A to 6A2 and opened the season with an overtime loss on their home field to Choctaw, 35-34, after a bobbled snap on the game's final play. Tonight's game will mark the 29th meeting between these two programs since 1986. Shawnee leads the all-time series 16-12, including last year's 27-13 win over the Jays. The Wolves will showcase senior quarterback Heath Hunter. Hunter did his part last week with 215 yards through the air and 2 touchdown passes. He added 1 more touchdown with his legs. A season ago, he racked up over 2,700 yards. Shawnee fans are hopeful for another season with those type numbers. To do so, the Wolves will need some new faces on the offensive line to learn quickly. The line is anchored by junior Sergio Garcia. Hunter will have 2 primary options at wide receiver in senior Trenton Skinner and junior Scott Calvey. The duo combined for over 1,100 yards in 2017. Last week, Skinner finished with 10 receptions for 158 yards and 2 scores, while Calvey added 3 receptions for 28 yards. A concern for the Wolves will be the health status of running backs Trayvon Shaw and move-in Elijah Powis, who were sidelined late in last week's game with injuries. Shaw, who ran for over 700 yards last season, scored 2 touchdowns last week before the injury. Shawnee started 8 sophomores and a freshman against Choctaw. Despite injuries and youth, Shawnee has proven over the years they will not be an easy opponent for the Blue Jays here tonight. This is the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show.
Hello, Blue Jay family. I'm Pastor Hetty. I want to invite you to North Church Guthrie, where you can expect fun, Bible-centered kids and student ministries, life-giving groups, engaging worship, and powerful messages. I would love to see you and your family at North Church Guthrie this Sunday at 9:30 or 11 a.m. at Guthrie Upper Elementary School, where our vision is to love God, love people, and follow Jesus. And remember, God loves you, and go win.
When it's time to buy your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, please think of John Vance Auto Group in Guthrie. We're just right around the corner from where the Blue Jays win football games. We work, shop, and worship in the same community as you. John Vance and his family and employees are usually in the stands rooting for the Blue Jays just like you. So keep us in mind and know we'd appreciate your business and promise to show it.
John Vance Auto Group, it's all true.
I-35 exit 153 in Guthrie.
John Vance Auto Group.
The Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show continues next.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Let's go live to the stadium with the call of tonight's game. Here's Chris Evans, Casey Porter, Phil Nichols, and Craig Fleck.
Interbank Blue Jay kickoff show continues here inside beautiful Jelsma Staidum as the Jays kick off the 2018 home opener. And the Shawnee Wolves, Casey, anytime these two teams get together, whether one team's good, one team's bad, it's always a good ball game.
There's absolutely no doubt about it. This is one of, I always have kind of related this rivalry to the OU-Nebraska rivalry of old. It's one of those that's built on complete respect. Now, obviously, both teams want to win, and they want to win badly, but when the game's over, both programs and both teams have a total amount of respect. It's not built on hatred, it's built on respect. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And so this week, every year, I was so glad to see that when Shawnee started moving up, not in Guthrie's district and that kind of thing, that the Blue Jays decided to keep playing Shawnee, kept them on their schedule, because this is one of the funnest weeks of the year for me.
No doubt, bring in Phil Nichols. And Phil, there have been some great games in this series, and there have been tremendous games down on that field right there.
Yeah, I mean, along with what Casey's saying, some of the hardest hitting ball games we've ever seen is when these two kids or these two programs lock heads. Of course, we always go back to that 13 season here in the quarters, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And probably the best game of the playoff run as far as just an entertaining ball game. Many people, I know all the people from Shawnee would argue that they were the better team that day. Of course, Blue Jays got out of there with the victory and went on to secure their fourth state title that year. But Billy Brown, a phenomenal football coach, been there since Jesus was a corporal. He's been there forever. So I don't, he is Shawnee football, and should be a well of a ball game tonight.
Yeah, 18 years officially in Shawnee, Phil, and again, he's got some good ones. Of course, you look at his ball club this year, kind of mentioned in the last segment, got 8 sophomores starting and a freshman. And talking to the Shawnee media before the game, Billy Brown said the freshman, and I'll get his name here in just a second for you, is perhaps the smartest football player he's ever coached. And that's high praise from A, for Shawnee, and B, for a freshman.
Well, and not to mention, coming from Billy Brown, they had a couple pretty smart sons that played quarterback for him at Shawnee. And I would argue his oldest son, Tucker, is the best player I've ever seen come out of Shawnee. But, big praise for a freshman. Of course, last year, Carl Albert Kidd, freshman, showed a lot of just moxie and a lot of wisdom, a lot of football smarts out on the field. So it's becoming, we seem to see that more, Chris, and I don't know why that is, but boy, there seems to be a lot of these youngsters come up early and really contribute.
Jalen Orange is his name, by the way. He's number 13. He's a freshman, 5'8", 170-pounder. And offense, he's defense. We do believe the starting running back, get his name here in just a second, will not be able to play tonight. So they have a move-in last year. Had to sit out last year's football season. His name is number 12, Elijah Powis. He's a senior, 5'10". So we expect him to get the majority of the snaps as the starting running back, and work on his name here in a second. But 700 yards last year. Both running backs went down last week, did not finish the ball game in a very tough loss for them last week.
Yeah, and this program, this team's going to go as Hunter goes, right? As number 3, the quarterback goes. And so obviously anytime you lose that kind of production or somebody that's that important to allow Hunter, the quarterback, to do the things he wants to do offensively in the air, you need that running game to set that up. And so that'll definitely have an impact on Brown's, his playbook, right? He just won't be able to probably go as deep as he'd like in his playbook tonight, but Hunter is the real deal, Chris. He can flat sling it.
Yeah, he is. Heath Hunter, senior, 6'2", 175 pounds, and he's gained 10, 15 pounds in the offseason. And that's the number one thing the Jays have to stop tonight. But before we get into the game plan and our Eskridge Chevrolet's keys to the game, let's look back last week in the Guthrie's win over Enid, a very convincing win. 5 defensive touchdowns. Enid did not help themselves. Guthrie helped themselves and took those turnovers, made those turnovers, and turned them into points.
is it tonight we'll kind of get a true feeling of where Guthrie is right now, or what? Just you don't want to take too much from Enid, but you don't want to take too much from Guthrie. Will we kind of know more about the programs tonight?
Well, anytime that you're one-dimensional against any defense, but especially a defense that's led by Kelly Beebe with as much defense as he knows and has played throughout the years, and he's had some of the better defenses that the entire state of Oklahoma has ever seen. If you become one-dimensional against him, you are not going to be successful, and we saw that a week ago with Will Phillips at Enid. He was a one-man show. They had the two young quarterbacks that had never played before that got shook up early, so Enid became one-dimensional really early, and that really hurt them. I don't think, even with the loss of the running backs, I think Billy Brown is creative enough. I think he understands, as Phil said a minute ago, that if he wants to be able to throw the ball with his very, very good receivers, which other than the quarterback obviously is the highlight of their team, that he's going to have to keep that pass rush off of his quarterback. And the only way to do that is to keep a run game where you can actually play action a little bit and keep those linebackers from just coming up the middle each and every play.
Phil, your thoughts. By the way, the starting running back that's questionable, don't think he's going to play tonight, is Trey Shaw.
Okay.
7 carries last week, 30 yards in the loss to Choctaw.
That's probably another long run of those Shaws, right?
Yeah, Seymour Shaw, went to
Fred,
OSU.
But matter of fact, Fred's on the
matter
coaching
of fact,
staff.
I think he is a second cousin. We asked that last year is why I say that.
Yeah, and Fred's on the coaching staff at Shawnee right now. But yeah, Chris, I mean, you talk about Hunter, of course, the key players they're real easy to track. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 on the field. 2 wideouts, 1 and 2, and then the quarterback Hunter, number 3. But to me, last week, you always hate to say this, but it's safe to say the quarterbacks we played against last week weren't as experienced. Obviously, they just don't have the game experience that this young man Hunter does, and so we're going to learn more about our pass rush. We're going to learn more about our defensive backs this week. Obviously we get pressure on them, that helps our DBs, but we'll learn a lot more about those kids out in the secondary this week because of Hunter and because of those 2 outstanding wideouts for the Shawnee Wolves.
Yeah, Heath Hunter last week, Phil, in the loss to Choctaw, 31 passing, that's about 65%, 233 yards, and 15 carries, 32 yards. He did have 2 or 3 sacks. That hurts those numbers a little bit, but it really feels like to me, guys, looking at Shawnee, it all comes through the legs and arms of Heath Hunter. Of course, he's got a big target, and number 1, the wide receiver, and Trent Skinner. And we'll see how the Jays. There wasn't a whole lot of passing last week with Enid. I mean, there was, but I don't think we'll see much more passing this week than we did last week.
Well, I mean, I think you're going to see Shawnee throw the ball probably 30 times. I mean, or more. And if they have that many opportunities, but it's like we're just saying. I mean, a tale of 2 weeks. Enid's quarterback's very inexperienced. Shawnee's quarterback very experienced. It's going to be a whole different feel on the football field for the Blue Jays tonight.
It sure is, and of course, when you have an inexperienced quarterback like Enid did a week ago, and then you start dialing it up, and then you have a couple of turnovers early, it starts snowballing on you. That's the worst case scenario against Kelly Beebe because he's just going to ratchet it up that much more. You mentioned 30 to 35 times with the ball in the air, and I don't disagree with that, but still, having said that, as many times as that is to throw the ball, Shawnee is going to have to throw the ball when they want to, and not whenever the Blue Jay defense has forced them to, because again, if you're throwing the ball only when you're forced to against the Kelly Beebe defense, you're going to get a 7-man rush, and you are not going to have time to get the ball off.
Well, Casey, and you'll see Billy, of course, you'll see him throw it on first down. You'll see him throw it on second down. You'll see him throw it on fourth. I mean, he'll throw the ball anytime. That's part of what makes his offensive scheme, so tough to scheme against and defend is you never know what the guy's going to do, right? I mean, he's just an outstanding offensive coach. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I expect a lot of action tonight and a very, very physical ball game as well.
Yeah, I expect you guys 30 passes. I would truly think that, especially with the injury to the top running back. I mean, you can see four sets. You can see an empty backfield with Hunter because they go downfield. That leaves him one-on-one against the linebacker. All you got to do is make one guy miss, and then you got everyone chasing him.
Yeah, he's athletic enough to get out and do it, Chris. I mean, he's a guy that, I mean, you said it. They're going to go as he goes, and everything's going to start and finish with him. And so if they shut him down, the Blue Jays will have a great chance of getting out here with a win tonight.
Hey, this is something interesting here for you, Phil. I'll let you know. Hey, do you know the Guthrie FFA Booster Club Pork Chop Dinner and Gator Raffle is Friday, October 19th at the Guthrie High School cafeteria. Good food there. Dinner tickets are $10 in advance, $12 at the door. They will be selling chances for a John Deere Gator parked out front here at the stadium tonight. $25 a ticket. Only 800 tickets will be sold that night. And there's also a silent auction and a live auction with Dennis Oaks now on the PA sound and the PA as you hear in the background. For more information to make a purchase, contact a Guthrie FFA Booster Club member or a Guthrie FFA member, or call 405-260-6372. And the pork chop dinner is worth $25 by itself.
Sure is. Every year, that's a big event. And the FFA here does such a phenomenal job in Guthrie. The coaches, the teachers, the instructors, they do a wonderful job. The leaders, they have a great booster club with the FFA that work their tails off. You know, Chris, about 10 years ago, those pork chops were so good, we went home and our house burned down.
I remember very well. I didn't know if we want to talk about that or not, but
hey, you can either embrace it or you can cry about it. I don't cry much.
Looks like we have a contest going on here.
Should I go knock this down?
We'll let you play-by-play that one.
They got thrown. It's Chevrolet night. Chevrolet night.
Somebody's in the zone over here. Somebody's in the zone.
Well, real quick, it is Chevrolet night here in Guthrie. Of course, speaking of Chevrolet, Escris Chevrolet will have the keys to the game here in a little bit. But what a great donation this week, Phil, by Escris Chevrolet. Billy Clark and the group out there donating $5,000 to the Charter Oak Elementary School toward the playground project. And then in the months of September, October, November, and December, for every vehicle they sell, they're going to put $50 toward that playground project as well. So Billy Clark and Greg Gummerson, the whole crew out there do a great job.
Well, and they're such great supporters of everything Guthrie. They're great supporters of, they're a great sponsor and a great advertiser here with us and on Guthrie Radio, and they just, anytime the community needs them, they're there. That's one of the special things about Guthrie, Chris, is all the businesses in town, they want to rally around and help the schools and help anybody that needs it. We're very, very blessed to have them.
Absolutely. As the Interbank Blue Jay kickoff show rolls on, we're just under 8 minutes from kicking this one off. Coming up in a little bit, we'll have the coin toss down on the field. Phil Nichols will be in the middle of that, bringing it to you for everyone out there. And coming up also, we'll have the Mercy Health Report and the Eskridge Chevrolet keys to the game. And now all that right here on the Interbank Blue Jay kickoff show.
Yep, no doubt. It's 7 minutes and 30 seconds away from home opening football here at the Rock, the greatest place in the history of high school football, any level of football, to attend and watch a football game, to experience a football game. What a phenomenal place this is with the Rock to the north and the great crowds Guthrie gets, the 4 state titles. It's just a phenomenal experience every time. You can't take them for granted because you only get 5 of these a year, hopefully more than that whenever you make the playoffs and host a playoff game. But you don't take for granted games that you get to experience here because they are that special.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, I don't know how many years ago was it we were voted one of the 100 top stadiums in the nation. Street and Smith
put us in the top 10. That was 10, about 20 years ago. Yeah.
Was it 20 years?
Yeah, it's been.
Goodness.
Well, we did the audio piece about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The Guthrie band is on the field right now, and they're getting ready to put on a presentation.
How hard do these kids work?
Boy, howdy.
I mean,
you and I both have seen that firsthand.
Yeah.
We both have had sons that have been in the band and had a lot of success there and got to see firsthand just how hard they work.
I teased all my football players' sons that Jake, my band son, worked harder than they ever thought of in the offseason. So out on that asphalt and going for hours. Coach Mr. Blackburn and his whole staff does a great job with them.
And real quickly, congratulations, Lady Jays. They continue to roll on the softball. They're now 11-3. Dominated Western Heights last night 16-0. And the cross country Lady Jays won the Carl Albert meet today. 23 teams, including all Edmond schools, and last year's 5A runner-up, the Claremore Lady Zebras, were there. And the Lady Jays come away with the team victory. Blue Jays on the boys' side finished ninth. Trevor Slee had a finish sixth. And so the cross country programs continue to roll. They got great leadership under head coach James Strayhorn. Of course, he's learning with head coach with assistant coach Clay Tarter. With that, let's go downstairs with tonight's national anthem. there is tonight's national anthem performed nicely by the Guthrie High School Marching Band. So coming up here in just a matter of moments on the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show, both captains will be coming out onto the field. We'll have the coin toss here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and dive into tonight's Mercy Health Report, as the Blue Jays were missing a couple starters last week on both offense and defense. And the Gooseby kid was out, the Ronas kid was out last week. So let's see what happens this week for the Mercy Health Report.
Well, Chris, the good news is we get one back, one still out. Gooseby's going to be back this week, back in the lineup, and is ready to go. Looks great in those pads. It's good to see him back out there. Ronas kid still out. You get mixed reports on him. I mean, it could be something that keeps him out for some time, or he could be back next week. It's week to week. So that's really what we're at right now on the health report.
That is your Mercy Health Report. South Division, the clinic out there, of course, Bobby Stitt and their crew out at Mercy Hospital Logantown do a great job. And, of course, they give us Shander Dyer, the athletic trainer. You've seen her up close for so many years, Casey, as the head baseball coach.
Does such a fantastic job. And, she has to be at the high school practices, and we're at Favor with the junior high practices. Anytime I call her, she is there within about 5 minutes. And even if she's like in Edmond or Oklahoma City, she drops what she's doing to come and make sure a Guthrie kid is taken care of. So that is a fantastic service that she provides.
We're getting ready for the captains coming on the field. Hey, big thank you to Brad Hinkle tonight on the camera.
No doubt.
Kel Evans getting a night off, and
only 7 mistakes so far.
Phil tell you that in your ear because he's counting them, right?
That's not true, Brad.
I've got to know Brad really well here in the last 2 or 3 years. He's redone Kiwanis into a fantastic facility. Oh man, and he's helped me with the stadium and everything here. And I'll tell you what, man, he's a stud of a human being when it comes to working all these things and helping kids. He's all about helping kids.
He gives you a good shot. Look at that Guthrie G right there. The captain's getting ready to come out onto the field. Captain's night for the Blue Jays. Number 55, Dylan Dollar. 56 is Parker Rainey. Number 26, C.J. Ward. And number 17, Dominic Gooseby, the captains for the Blue Jays. Captains for the Shawnee Wolves. Number 1, Trenton Skinner. Number 3, Heath Hunter. Number 12 is Elijah Powis. And number 21, Trayvon Shaw.
Send it down to Phil, and we will get tonight's coin toss as soon as the festivities get started.
Sportsmanship, all right? Make sure blue's only talking to blue and white's only talking to white. All right, coaches already did the toss. Guthrie won the toss. They're going to defer. You're going to receive the ball, and I believe you guys are kicking from this end to the clock. So you guys stay right there. Don't move. We're going to do this.
So a little unusual. They did the toss before the game with the coaches, and Guthrie won but deferred the coin toss.
Well, when that happens, the coaches usually want to make sure there's nothing going wrong, and not that they don't put the trust in a 16, 17-year-old kid. It's just sometimes easier to do before everything goes out there. But it looked official unless you were watching the broadcast or listening to the broadcast.
Well, I mean, you don't want to. I'm going to call him out on this because I can. You don't want a repeat of Ken Terrell in state semifinals, Mr. NFL.
That's exactly what happened.
The best thing about that, Chris, last year he's on the sideline wired up at a game, and he was explaining to a coach when he done that in the state semifinals, and they got it on NFL film. It's pretty funny.
That is funny. Shawnee Wolves with the big banner on the far side says bye-bye birdies.
Birdies, very creative.
That is creative. Very creative. And now we await the Blue Jays to come out onto the field. So we're ready for this one to kick off. We're just waiting for both teams to come out onto the field. Blue Jays with the inflatable Blue Jay bird. As we await the Shawnee Wolves, I would certainly think they'd come out first. And then the Blue Jays will follow immediately.
Sorry, man.
Oh, that's all right.
My phone's in my backpack.
And here come the Blue Jays out onto the field. And the Shawnee Wolves as well. So we're about ready to get this one kicked off here for the 2018 home opener here at Jelsma Stadium.
What a beautiful atmosphere. I mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, what an experience to see the Blue Jays come through that bird head in the south and west corner of the end zone, and just to see this place full of people and Oklahoma people just hungry for high school football. This is, if you've never been to Jelsma Stadium to watch a football game, this needs to be on your bucket list because it is simply that special.
Absolutely. And we are about to set this one off here on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI. Blue Jays in the silver helmets, blue jerseys with white numbers, and with the black pants. Shawnee Wolves, white pants, white tops, that dark blue helmet with the S logo on the side. 5-man officiating crew led here tonight. Lost my officials, and I'll get them here in just a second. There they are. Referee tonight is Mark Clark. Umpire is Hank Reeves. The line judge is Jerry Privet. The head linesman are Rick Morales, and the back judge is Jeff Largent. 5-man officiating crew.
One of the best in the state of Oklahoma. It seems like we get the best in the state of Oklahoma every year to come to Guthrie, and that's obviously a joy for us to watch. So I assure you the officiating will be very good this evening.
Absolutely. Another thing to watch out for here tonight, Eskridge Chevrolet's keys to the ball game. Shawnee had 14 penalties last week. Billy Brown says they were out of shape. We'll see how this week is.
Yep, and Enid had 15 a week ago too, and a lot of them were on big runs from Will Phillips that brought the ball back. So obviously discipline early in the season is a big factor. Chris, you ready to go?
Let's do it.
Phil, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it on. Here come your Men in Black kickoff style. Let's get it on.
David Varr gets the kick right to left on the radio dial. He'll do it at the 40-yard line. Looks to his left, looks to his right, approaches the football, and we're underway in the home opener. And this one will cruise and hit the rock. That is about 15 yards into the end zone. And here come the Shawnee Wolves, again led by Heath Hunter, the 6'2", 175-pound senior quarterback. And he can not only throw it, he can run it as well.
He sure can, and anytime you're able to do that, you're able to fake a run to a running back, then the quarterback can keep it. Not only can you do that, now you have to defense both sides of the field in the run game. It makes it that much tougher if you slip out a tight end like the Blue Jays did a week ago and run those RPOs.
So here we go, 1st down and 10 for the Shawnee Wolves.
Well, and here you see already just a bunch of movement, a lot of window dressing to get you lined up incorrectly.
And it's a bad snap. Wolves had issues with that. And Hunter's going to go down inside the 5-yard line as Dominique Gooseby gets him for a big loss. And Shawnee Wolves had a bubble snap on the PAT last week that would have sent it into double overtime.
Yeah.
Snap one, not good.
And like we said, a lot of movement, trying to window dress to get the defense to line up incorrectly. And a lot of times what that'll do is it'll actually unsettle your offense, and especially your center, and especially when you have a nose guard lined up directly over the center.
15-yard loss back at the 5-yard line. 5 men, empty backfield, I should say. Ball on the near side, caught by Skinner at the 10, fighting for a couple more yards. He'll get out to the 12-yard line. On the tackle for the Blue Jays is the cornerback, Caden Ballard-Stevenson.
And just a little play to get about half of it back, to at least give yourself a chance to come up with something to get out from the shadows of your own end zone with your first drive, so you don't end up with terrible field position when you give the ball back to the Blue Jay offense. Well, and that's a lot of confidence in your to throw the ball whenever you're down deep that far on the shadows of your own end zone.
3rd down and 18 for the Shawnee Wolves. Ball is at their own 12-yard line. Empty backfield again. Hunter will keep this one. He's going to be forced out, and he's going to be brought down for the 2nd time. Another sack for the Blue Jays. David Scott gets to him, and the Shawnee Wolves with 3 not-so-good-looking plays open this one up, and now they'll be punting from their own end zone. 4th down and 22. Sack all the way back to the 8-yard line. Back deep for the Blue Jays will be C.J. Ward, and he'll be inside around his 40-yard line.
That's what happens to you when you get in passing situations where Kelly Beebe knows you're going to pass it. Here come linebackers. You're going to get a 7-man rush, and you're not going to have enough time to even have running lanes.
Good punt here. C.J. Ward fields it at the 47. Here's the return to the near side to the 40. Gets to the 38, breaks the tackle, and down at the 36-yard line. Blue Jays can't draw it up any better. It'll be 1st down and 10 in Shawnee territory.
Nope, no doubt about it, and that's why so many times we say it, that in big games like this one, Kelly Beebe loves to start with his defense because you kick it away with a good kicker in Vargas. You let the circuit complete itself. You get a good 3 and out. And by the time your offense gets the ball first, they're already in plus territory like they are on this play.
Blue Jays huddle up. I think they might be the last team in America who actually huddles up offensively. Justin Adams on the left side of quarterback Jackson Waddell. 3 receivers to the far side. Now 1 will move to the tight end. That's Jackson. Brody Hinkle into motion right to left. First down and 10 from the 35. Jackson hands it off to Justin Adams, and not much there. He does battle to get just a 1-yard loss. It could have been a lot worse. Back to the 36, so 2nd down 11. Just underway here at first quarter, Jelsma Stadium.
Yep, and just trying to get a inside rushing game, that little power play. So to keep that rush off of Jackson Waddell, anytime that you have a quarterback like Jackson that's going to want to run those RPOs, like Phil said earlier, you got to be able to run the ball before you actually get to throw the ball in those RPOs.
Waddell with 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Jackson will again hand it off to Adams. Has room to run this time across the 30. Has a blocker to the 25. Down inside the 20-yard line. Justin Adams with a nice run before being tackled from behind by number 10, Conser Spencer.
Yeah, what a great play. Just sets up to the left where you tilt everybody to the wide side of the field, and then you come back to the boundary side of the field to the left. And nobody home for Shawnee. Great yardage. Blue Jays knocking on the door.
18-yard run for Justin Adams. He'll get the call here on first down. Has a big hole up the middle across the 15. Stays on his feet and a push down at the 13-yard line. Pick up a 5 yards. Justin Adams, he's a tough kid, Case.
He sure is, and he's that guy that sets up just perfectly for that little power play, the little counter play where it's straight downhill, and he gets to the second level if you give him a crease at all, and then from there you can pull it out and start running your RPOs and all those kind of plays. So if the Blue Jays are able to run these off-tackle plays like this, it's going to be great offense for them all evening.
Ball plays at the 13-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Marcellus Owens, receiver to the near side, one-on-one coverage there. Jackson looks right, throws it across the middle. Jackson with the catch inside the 5, and he piles into the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Jays. They strike first here tonight. Strike up the Guthrie Band. Talik Jackson with his first touchdown for the Blue Jays.
And again, whenever you're able to run the ball and you suck those linebackers up and they're expecting you to run the ball, then all of a sudden you pull it out and you have a little RPO like that, it's wide open, you throw it to a big body in Talik Jackson, and the next thing you know, it's golden goalpost.
David Vargas on for the PAT. Jackson Waddell is the holder. The kick is up, it sails over the rock, and it's good. Blue Jays with an early 7-0 lead. Timeout from Jelsma Stadium. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football. And once again, the technical difficulties with the commercial. We'll try to get to them here in just a second. But Blue Jays with an impressive opening drive, and we'll see if we can get these commercial breaks to work. Nope. We'll go ahead and keep it here. We try to work on these commercials again and bring in Phil. Phil, what an opening drive for the Blue Jays.
I'm telling you right now, we've got a real weapon in this Jackson kid. I mean, he's so big. You can't get to the ball. He's got to put that big body between him and the football, and there's no way a 5'8" defensive back's going to get around him. Yep. And then once he caught the ball, he wasn't being denied, guys. I mean, he flat put it down. I mean, that was an impressive play by Jackson.
And like we said, anytime you're able to run the ball like the Blue Jays were able to do over left tackle with Justin Adams, you know, those linebackers have to devote that much more to the passing game. You have to bring safeties down to try to help with it, and that's when all those hot patterns come open. When the Blue Jays strike early like they did a week ago. Last week it was a scoop and score that got the Blue Jays on the board early. This week it's just good old-fashioned football. You complete the circuit. You have a good kickoff and kick cover with Dave Vargas to start the game. Then you have a good 3 and out, and then your offense sets up in plus territory. And 4 plays later, they're in the end zone. So the circuit completed. The Blue Jays up 7-0.
Dave Vargas with another kick, and this one goes into the end zone. It'll be first down and 10 for the Shawnee Wolves.
Yep. And Shawnee, much like a week ago, desperately needing at least to get a couple of first downs, just simply to stem the tide just a little bit. after what happened to them on the first drive where they went 3 and out, gave the Blue Jays great field position offensively, and the Blue Jays capitalized on it.
So Heath Hunter and the offense for the Shawnee Wolves back onto the field. A bad snap really dampened their first possession, opened that touchdown window for the Blue Jays, and we have a penalty flag here. It's going to go against the Wolves, something they saw plenty last week, Case.
Sure did, and you can see on your screen there some new features to our scoreboard with the flag feature, and trying to do all this digitally and trying to get her done for you, so I hope we enjoy that. And it was a bad snap, as you mentioned, first series that got Shawnee behind the chains. This time it's a penalty, and anytime that you're playing offense with your back to your own end zone against Kelly Beebe and his defense, that is not good for you.
No. Now they're backed up 5 yards. First down and 15 from their own 15-yard line. 3 receiver set for Heath Hunter, the quarterback. Pistol formation. And we have another whistle and a timeout taken, I believe, by the Shawnee Wolves. And looks like they broke the huddle with 12 and actually had to call the timeout before the officials picked that one up. And so the Shawnee Wolves will take their first timeout. We're trying to get to timeouts, and this was working all day today, and now it's not working. We'll see if it works here. Okay, it's playing, but no audio. It's muted, so talks amongst yourself, guys, as I produce again here, or engineer that would be.
And like I said, Shawnee, much like Enid a week ago, just kind of rattled early on in this game. They've been playing offense by the shadows of their own end zone, and Guthrie's been very aggressive defensively because of that, and looked very good on their first offensive possession. And, boy, this is a Shawnee offense that's used to really being in cruise control from the get-go, so that they're not used to playing like this.
Shawnee Wolves look to throw. Here comes pressure again. Gooseby from behind will get the sack. Third time that Heath Hunter has gone down as Gooseby and Josh Raines got to him, Casey.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and that's what we said. Anytime that you're in obvious passing situation like Shawnee was when you have 15 yards to go, that is when Coach Beebe is going to dial up the pressure. And we just got through seeing a 7-man rush, like we said, Kelly Beebe will do every time he knows that you're going to throw. And so Shawnee, obviously, not a good situation for them backed up against your own end zone and also in an obvious passing situation.
Second down and 25 for the Wolves. A little quarterback draw and trying to get it beyond the 5-yard. Heath Hunter cannot do that. And so it's a pickup of 0. Third down and 25 for the Wolves.
Yep, and obviously this is just screen draw, something safe, but you would say that other than the fact that your defense just did not look good at all your last possession against Guthrie. So you hate to just punt it back and barring some kind of miracle, the Blue Jay offense getting the ball back in plus territory again to start their second drive. So you're kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't if you're Shawnee's offense right now.
If you're third and 25, you're not very good. Most teams are not good at third 25.
Lob one up, maybe, see if somebody can high point a ball.
From the 5-yard line, Hunter will look throw. Here's pressure again by Gooseby. Ball's in the air, and it is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver at the 35-yard line. Would have been good enough for a Wolves first down if he can bring that catch in, but it goes through the arms of the second best wide receiver on the ball club, Scott Calby. He's a 5'10 junior and actually had a chance, although there were 3 Blue Jays around him. It was still a tough grab there. So for the second time in 2 tries, the Shawnee Wolves will have to punt the football from their own end zone. C.J. Ward lines up at his own 40-yard line.
And your first play of offense is his punt return, and C.J. had a very good punt return last time.
Another good high punt, but short. It bounces at the 35. It'll take a Shawnee roll and will be down at the 45-yard line for the Guthrie Blue Jays, who will set up camp second time in Shawnee territory.
That was a 40-yard net for Shawnee, and anytime you have C.J. Ward back deep, that is a good situation, a good punt by the punter to not allow the Blue Jays to have any kind of return and to have a 40-yard net. That is very good for any level, certainly for the high school level.
Blue Jays, by the way, their first scoring drive took 4 plays, 36 yards, 95 seconds off the clock. 13-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Waddell to Talik Jackson. That is your John Vance Motor scoring summary. First down 10 for the Blue Jays at the Shawnee 45. A little bit more. Justin Adams up the middle, and he'll pick up 3 yards. We'll call it 2.5 yards, just shy of the 42-yard line.
And the Blue Jays are really liking that left side of the offensive line, and they're really liking Justin Adams and getting downhill behind left guard Parker Rainey and Dollar over there on the left side. And just, once you get a lead, that allows you to dictate tempo. You can do anything in there. You can run the ball all night, keep that clock moving, and just really dictate the type of offense that you play all night when you get that lead.
Midway point of the first quarter, Guthrie on top, 7-0. 3-receiver set. Marcellus Owens into motion from right to left. Jackson throws it to Marcellus, catches on the run at the 45, to the near sideline at the 40, and down at the 37-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards on a 2nd down and 8 play. It'll be a 3rd down and 2 for the Blue Jays. Clock rolling here in the first quarter, 5:44. Jays on top, 7-0.
There's terminology in football. What Justin's doing is called full flow. His run's full flow. That just means that you're going straight downhill. And then you mix with that run and pass, then you have a fast flow pass. What that means is now you're going outside. So now you have Shawnee and the safeties and linebackers thinking downhill. Then all of a sudden you hit them with that little bubble pass to the outside, and you outrun them to the corner. Great design by Coach Mick.
3rd down and 2. The Jays need the 35, and they're going backwards. Back at the 39-yard line. Nice tackle in the backfield there by number 52, the senior Reed Stewart with the tackle. And so 3rd down and 2 is now 4th down and 4.
And, obviously you're thinking you're going to get that on 3rd down by handing the ball, but that's over to the right side. The Blue Jays have had all their success running left, and so that's number 1. But number 2, you knew you had 2 plays to get this because you're in such good field position. You're 6 yards on the Shawnee side of the field.
Ball at the 39. Guthrie needs the 35. Jackson will try to throw for it. Rolls to the far side. Nothing there. Now throws it. Finds Jackson. And it goes through the hands of Talik Jackson at the 30-yard line. It would have been plenty for a 1st down, but instead the Blue Jays will turn it over on downs.
And that is a little bit disappointing in the sense that you had great field position. You had a chance to take a jugular on the game, and you had a pretty good bubble pass to Marcellus. You set up a 3rd down and 2. You figure everything was going great, and then you don't get yards on the 3rd down play, and then all of a sudden you don't complete the 4th down play, and then you have to turn the ball over on downs.
With that, we'll take a timeout. I think the commercials are working. Blue Jays on top 7-0, 4:35 to play first quarter. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
Glenda here with Jim and our Red River Roofing crew. You've known us for 16 years of quality roofing services, and we are also proud installers of Diamond Coat pre-finished siding.
This quality wood siding product is scratch resistant, comes in custom color option, and will actually increase your home's resale value.
With a 30-year no-fade warranty, this siding is sure to impress.
Durability is number 1, so choose a stylish exterior siding that will last.
Call today to boost your home's curb appeal with beautiful Diamond Coat siding. Visit us at redriverroofing.com.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Dimitri Beavers with the run on the first play. Big play for the Shawnee Wolves. Beavers, a 5'8" sophomore, gets it out to across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
This is a drive. Shawnee kind of dodged the bullet last time whenever they gave the ball back to the Blue Jays in such great field position, had a 4 and out themselves. And this is a drive for them on the road that would really settle this thing down.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 3 for the Wolves. 3-receiver set. Heath Hunter finds his top receiver in Skinner at midfield, makes him 1 Blue Jay miss, and he's down at midfield is Skinner, as the Wolves will go from the 47 to the 50, and they will pick up their first down of the night.
Yeah, and just kind of a hot pattern off of the run game that you set up for yourself, and Shawnee playing that pass and run game, the run game first on the toss sweep to the left, and now a little pass back to the right. We talked about the Blue Jays mixing the pass and run very well. Shawnee's doing it on the first couple of plays of this drive.
7-0 Blue Jays, 4:05 to play in the first quarter. Shawnee Wolves 1st and 10 at the Guthrie 49-yard line. Hunter wants to throw again, comes in some bad at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete. Campbell Leach gets his hands on the football to knock that one down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
You know, you could use a lot of adjectives to describe Campbell Leach. I think the one that I would use the most would just be he has a high motor. He's active.
Yeah.
You know, he's always got his hands in the right spot. He's knocking balls down, and he's just creating havoc in the backfield for the other team. Campbell Leach had a great junior year, and he has started off his senior year right where he left off a year ago.
Had a great scrimmage against Bishop Kelly. Had a great game last week against Enid. Enid Plainsman off to a good start here tonight. 2nd down and 10 for the Wolves. Blue Jays bring pressure up the middle. Turvey Williams supplies that pressure. Hunter throws it downfield. It's intercepted by C.J. Ward. His 2nd interception of the season. Here's a return out to midfield across the 45 on that far sideline and finally pushed out of bounds. We'll see where they're going to give him the spot. They're going to mark him out of bounds about the 40, we'll call it the 42-yard line. C.J. Ward, as we saw last week, is super quick. He's the fastest Blue Jay on the roster, and he took that one down, screaming down that far Shawnee sideline for his 2nd interception of the season. Of course, last week had a pick 6, 1 of 5 defensive scores, and the Blue Jays will take over offensively for the 3rd time. Not only that, inside Shawnee territory once again.
Well, the third, like you just took the words right out of my mouth. You talk about an offense living a charmed life. That has been this Blue Jay offense so far this evening.
3 receivers set for Jackson Waddell. He'll hand it off to CJ. His first carry gets the edge. He cuts to the 40, cuts it to the 35. Has a good block by Marcellus at the 20, 15. He stepped out of bounds at the 19-yard line. And while that was a great run there by CJ Ward, how about Marcellus Owens, Phil Nichols leading the way, the skinny lineman.
Yeah, great job of the skinny lineman, but I'm going to get my friend the line judge some glasses. I set him right on top of that. He walked that sideline. He never stepped out, boys.
You know what's beautiful about what Coach Mick just did? C.J. Ward's a very emotional player. We all know that, and I mean that in the best of ways. And so C.J. gets an interception, and so guess what Coach Mick does, Phil? He gives the ball to him the very next play, knowing C.J. has positive momentum. Great job.
Yeah, no doubt. It was a great job. Great play call. Great run.
1st and 10 at the Shawnee Wolves 19-yard line. Already on top, 7-0, trying to add to it. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Justin Adams, Kel Kaufman gets his first carry. It's no pickup at the 19-yard line. So we see Kel get his first carry. Before that was CJ's first carry. Justin Adams getting a few plays off here offensively.
And back over that left side, Parker, Rainey, and Dollar, and all the big boys. You have Jackson in at tight end, so that's where your power's at. But we talked a week ago, the Blue Jays don't necessarily have that one superstar at running back, but they do have a stable of guys that all offer a bunch of different things, so it's a good stable running backs for this Blue Jay team.
Talik Jackson tight end on the right side, 3 receiver set, low snap, misplay here, and Jackson unable to find Marcellus at the 10-yard line. It was a low snap, and Jackson wanted to hand the ball off. No one was there. They had to get rid of it quick, and Marcellus was covered well. Incomplete pass, how you draw that play up. It's 3rd down and 10.
You know, the Blue Jays, the way that they pass the ball this year is every single one of them, 100% of the time, has been off of a play fake, off of a run. The problem with that is now that you're 3rd and 10, the defense pretty much knows that you're not going to run, so that play fake's not going to work at this point. They're going to drop into pass coverage.
Remember, Blue Jays got a good kicker if needed in David Vargas. Blue Jays won the screen, nothing there, still nothing there, and Jackson will lob it, looking for Kel Kaufman contact, but I think feet got tangled up a little bit there. Incomplete pass at the 19-yard line. 4th down and 10, so we might see David Vargas come on for a 36-yard field goal attempt.
Yep, and 2 possessions in a row to where the Blue Jays were living a charmed life and had the ball well within Shawnee territory when they took it over, and 2 possessions in a row that the offense could not punch it into the end zone. But we can't say yet that they haven't put points on the board, because, you know, having a great field goal kicker is a big weapon, and Vargas certainly has a leg to make this one.
It's officially at the 26-yard line, so a little bit longer than I thought. Still playing long enough. Did he get it in? I don't think he did. Looks like wide left. No sign from the official. Missed too bad. There it is. Wide left, no good. And the Blue Jays cannot cash in on this great field position 2 times in a row after scoring on their opening drive after going 36 yards. And so the Shawnee Wolves, led by Heath Hunter, the quarterback, back onto the field.
Well, you just kind of feel like Shawnee's dodging a bunch of bullets early in this game, don't you? And you know their offense is not going to waller around the mud all night long, so you got to take advantage of the chances that you have early on to bury this team, because you know Shawnee eventually is going to start playing very good offense.
Absolutely. You're just waiting for it to happen. You always want Hunter to Skinner, a pretty good combination. Wolves will open up camp on their own 20-yard line, first down and 10. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. 1 back set. Hunter wants to throw, comes near side. Caught, nope, through the arms of the intended receiver, number 11, Joe Maytubby, 6'2", sophomore wide receiver. Again, Shawnee playing 8 sophomores and a freshman here tonight, and they're without the services of their top running back in Trey Shaw.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and then you're on the road against a Blue Jay team that won a 6A1 school a week ago and that is playing with a whole lot of confidence. You get off to a bad start. It couldn't be much worse for Shawnee as we speak.
2:38 to play in the first quarter. Second down and 10 play. Same formation as the one before. Hunter underneath route is caught by Calvin. He has room to run across the 30 to the 33 as he picks up the first down in front of that Shawnee bench. And yeah, that's we saw Shawnee last week take on Choctaw. Guthrie this week. Next week is Carl Howard, and then they begin their 6A2 schedule.
And that's just those shallow crosses, and whenever you're thinking pass, you back into your back pedal as a defensive player. They run those shallow crosses, it comes right in front of your face, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
First and 10 for the Wolves. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. I'll hand it off to the running back here, and not going too far, as it was Cade Whitfield, the Blue Jay linebacker, getting in there. It's going to be a 1-yard loss, so we say Cade Whitfield's first name tonight. Cade had a great game last week in the victory over the Enid Plainsman. Cade Whitfield, 5'10", 170-pound senior.
He sure did, and he's another one of those what we call program guys. He's a guy that just throughout the years has worked and worked and worked and eventually made himself a whale of a football player and having a great senior campaign.
So the loss of 1 brings up second down 11 from the Shawnee 32-yard line. 98 seconds to play in the first quarter. Hunter looks far side. Here's the pressure, and the ball is loose. Is it incomplete? It is, as Campbell Leach applied the pressure, threw Heath Hunter down as he was throwing the football, and falls incomplete. So we see a lot of pressure from a variety of Blue Jays tonight defensively.
Yep, and you're seeing it in situations like this where it's long yardage. And Coach Beebe has a pretty good idea that, we talked about on the last possession when the Blue Jays were in 3rd and 10, that, the play action wasn't going to work because it was so far to go. When it's 2nd and 11, Coach Beebe knows pretty much that Shawnee's not going to hand the ball off with their starting running back out, so he dials up pressure and gets to him.
3rd and 11 from the 32-yard line. 4 receiver set. Here's pressure again. Hunter sees it, batted line scrimmage, but still caught at midfield into Guthrie territory. A tremendous throw there. A great catch by Trenton Skinner as the Shawnee Wolves will move the chains. And there we see, Phil, Exhibit A of how good Heath Hunter can be.
Yeah, he stood in there. He's been getting hit every play, and he stood in the pocket and just delivered big time. That was a big-time pass.
21 yards from Hunter to Skinner, and that's a combination the Blue Jays don't want to be hearing too much here tonight.
Yeah, that's called just throwing your receiver open. He threw it away from where the defense is at and let his receiver just run right up underneath it.
3 receivers to the far side. Ball spotted at the Guthrie 47-yard line. Man in the motion, they toss it to him. And on the left side is Beavers. He's quick across the 40, across the 35, cuts it, and stays on his feet across the 30-yard line. So we see Demetrius Beavers, for the second time. He is quick, Casey, 5'8", 150.
He sure is, and they like to run that little rocket play with him because he's so fast. And anytime you're a defense that pressures, and especially up the middle, the best way to beat that is to screen it and or be able to run the ball outside to get away from that pressure, and that's exactly what Shawnee's done.
19-yard pickup for Dimitri Beavers, and the Wolves deepest in the territory they've been, in Guthrie territory, I should say, at the 28-yard line. Empty backfield, 5 receivers. They fake the toss, throw it up wide open. Can they? They do. Nice job there by Hector Gooseby, batting that one down because it was a wide open Scout Calvi, and Gooseby had to run a long ways to knock that one down.
He sure did, and as it looked open, it was such a far pass. That's why you defense the short passes than make him throw it long, because they're hard to complete. The ball's in the air for so long that allows your secondary guys, who are the fastest guys in your team, to break on the ball and make a play, and that's exactly what happened.
Maybe a little too much air that time by Hunter, but he had to get it over the big defensive lineman. But here we go. Second down and 10, 33 seconds to play in the first quarter. Guthrie with an early 7-0 lead. 2 receivers to the near side. 2 men in the backfield with 1 receiver to the far side. Heath Hunter from the Guthrie 28. Throws it to the near side. It's intercepted. Nope, it falls incomplete as Caden Ballard-Stevenson and Scott Calvey fought over that one. Both of them had a great chance at that one bringing it in, but it falls down to the turf. Incomplete pass.
Well, and it looks like from up here, Phil, but you have a better view from down there. Hunter, he has arm strength, but it seems like he's getting under the ball and floating a little bit right now, is he not?
Well, he is, because his teeth have been floating the whole first quarter. I mean, he's getting some happy feet back there, and I can't blame him. I mean, he's got literally somebody in his grill on every play.
So the Shawnee Wolves will break huddle with 27 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Shawnee moving left to right on the radio dial. Hunter looks, center of the field, has a receiver, and it's caught inside the 15-yard line, down to around the 11-yard line. And the Wolves are in scoring danger here inside the red zone with the reception again. Trenton Skinner, 5'11 senior.
And Hunter likes Skinner, and he likes him in that inside slot, and then he likes that deep post or that deep dig route is what a lot of coaches call it, or deep in, whatever you want to call it. And it has been very successful where Skinner will just go down, kind of post up, get inside of his defender, and then Hunter will just throw it to an open spot on the field and let Skinner just run right up underneath it and catch it. You can tell they've done that a bunch together, haven't they?
17-yard pickup, and we'll pick it up in the second quarter. First quarter in the books. Guthrie on top of the Shawnee Wolves 7-0, but the Wolves are threatening. Take a timeout. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans, Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
When it comes to Guthrie Blue Jay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
Shawnee knocking on the door. They have a first down and 10 from the 11-yard line as Hunter just threw Skinner, his receiver, open for a big 3rd down and 10 conversion. So it's first down and 10, ball on the 11-yard line as we begin the second quarter with the Blue Jays with a 7-0 lead.
So here we go. We're waiting on Turvey Williams in the Shawnee backfield to tie his shoe, unless he's in this play.
Yeah. He might be trying to hear what the play is.
Phil, have you ever been in the other team's huddle?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I just got the crap knocked out of me. I didn't realize those were. So.
Here we go. We're set for the first play of the second quarter. First down and 10 for the Wolves from the Guthrie 11-yard line. Hunter wants to throw. Here's pressure from behind. He's hit. Ball's loose on the ball, and the Blue Jays are on top of it. David Scott jumps on top of the football, and the Blue Jays will take over at the 20-yard line. More importantly, they keep the Shawnee Wolves off the field.
They sure do, and like we said, when Coach Beebe has a pretty good idea based off of a scouting report that you are going to throw the football, he is going to dial up pressure, and he is going to force you into mistakes. We saw that 5 times a week ago where the Blue Jays scored off of their defense, whether it was a pick six, 3 pick sixes, or a scoop and score, 2 scoops and scores, and yet another turnover forced by this Blue Jay defense.
Jays at the 20-yard line, their 4th offensive possession here tonight. They'll line up with 3 receivers. Ball's in the center of the field. Quarterback Jackson Waddell takes the snap. Hand off to Adams up the middle and going nowhere. No pickup there. It'll be second down and 10.
And they're trying that right side. You have to stay balanced. Of course, the Blue Jays have had a lot of success with that inside rushing game to the left behind Parker Rainey and Dollar and Jackson, and just trying to keep it balanced to where Shawnee can't just load up on one side of the the defensive line or the other.
Jays break huddle. 2nd down and 10. See if the Jays can get Brody Hinkle into motion in some of the action here. He's in the inside slot. Jackson, play action. And there is Brody Hinkle at the 23, down at the 24-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
You're in a good play by Jackson Waddell. He had heat coming from the defensive end spot. He was able to run around the defensive end, and he was able to get around the rush and to avoid it and to get off a good pass.
Jays break huddle. Here we go. 3rd down and 6. Marcellus Owens, Brody Hinkle, Kay Guggisberg, your receivers. Jackson, tight end on the left side. Jackson Waddell looks to throw. Has Brody Hinkle wide open at the 30, down at the 32-yard line. 8-yard pickup. Jays only needed 6, and they'll move the chains.
Boy, and, anytime you can complete 3rd down plays and you can complete them like the Blue Jays just did to move the chains, it is just devastating for that defense.
Blue Jays will be back home next week when they take on the Ponca City Wildcats. Then they'll have a bye week. The Shawnee Wolves will have a bye week next week before taking on those Carl Albert Titans on September 14th. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Hinkle in the motion right to left. 1st and 10 from the 32. Justin Adams gets the call up the middle, and he'll get across the line of scrimmage up to the 33. Just a pickup of 1. As we've seen a variety of running backs tonight, Justin Adams getting the bulk of the carries. Kel Kaufman has a carry. C.J. Ward also has 1 carry, but mostly it's been Justin Adams in the running game. Under 10 minutes to play here in the 2nd quarter. Stay tuned. Golden Chick halftime show. We'll have first half stats, and we'll have that scoring highlight when the Blue Jays scored on their opening drive when Jackson Waddell found Talik Jackson for a 13-yard touchdown reception. Brody Hinkle in the motion, right to left. 2nd down 9 from the 33. And we have a flag here. This one might be the first penalty of the night against the Blue Jays. And it is a false start against the Blue Jays. I'll move it back 5 yards inside the 30 at the 28, so it'll be 2nd down and 14. Checking into the Blue Jay offensive line, or into the offensive group here. 17, Dominique Gooseby for the Blue Jays. Jays have been dominant defensively. Shawnee's had some big plays as expected, and Guthrie's done a good job of holding them so far in a 7-0 ball game. 9.5 to play until halftime. Marcel Owens and Brody Hinkle are the receivers to the near side. Gooseby and Jackson line up at tight ends. Justin Adams on the left side of Jackson Waddell. Here comes a pass play. Looking for Marcel Owens, and it's caught at the 45. He's down to the 40, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Marcel Owens, 72 yards out. Blue Jays on the scoreboard. Strike up the Guthrie man. Top 13-0 PAT upcoming. Marcellus was able to get some space in between him and his defender. Brought in a great catch and then just turned on the Jets for his 2nd touchdown of the season.
And what a big play for the Blue Jays. Stacked up the shadows of their own end zone to come up with that. After 2 possessions not scoring, that is huge.
Blue Jays on top, 14-0. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
Sonic has every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
Where sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Oh, Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
What a great time of year. Blue Jay football, tailgating, bands, fans cheering, and the excitement that comes with America's favorite sport. At John Vance Auto Group in Guthrie, we're excited about a huge selection of new Fords, GMC, Cadillac, Buick, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Each competitively priced and with a free lifetime powertrain guarantee. Come see us or shop us at VanceAutoGroup.com.
John Vance Auto Group, it's all true.
I-35 exit 153 in Guthrie.
John Vance Auto Group.
Blue Jays on top 14-0. Another happy Blue Jays scoring summary brought to you by the John Vance Motor Scoring Summary. Blue Jays go 5 plays, 80 yards, 72 of those on the touchdown pass. Jackson Waddell to Marcellus Owens, second touchdown pass tonight for the senior quarterback. And so with 9:07 to play in the second quarter, Blue Jays on top 14-0. So David Vargas will kick this one off left to right. Appreciate Daryl Jones back in our Stillwater studio on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI, keeping us afloat, and of course right here on Guthrie News page. YouTube.com/Guthrie News. Can watch the broadcast live right there. David Vargas and the Blue Jays to kick this one off to the Shawnee Wolves. 9:07 to play until halftime. It's a little sky kick, and it will be caught at the 25. Here comes the return on the far side to the 30, 35, and tripped up at the 37-yard line. And here comes Heath Hunter and the Shawnee Wolves. And number 1, Brody Hinkle with the tackle on the kick return for the Wolves. And Shawnee will have one of the best field positions the entire night. Again, a bad snap put them in deep in their own territory, and then had to punt the football away from their end zone. Blue Jays took advantage of that on their first drive, going 36 yards in just 4 plays. 1st and 10 for the Wolves. They'll line up with 3 receivers. Heath Hunter, a talented quarterback in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to throw. Here's pressure again, and down goes Heath Hunter. Campbell Leach with the sack, and Heath Hunter, when he has time, he can find the receivers, but having time is a hard thing to come by for him tonight, as it's not just 1 or 2 Blue Jays, it's 3, 4, 5 Blue Jays getting to Heath Hunter tonight, as it's a loss of 7 yards all the way back to the 30-yard line. So 2nd down and 17. And Phil, everybody's getting to him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you what, this offensive line they've got to be looking at each other going, where are these guys coming from? I mean, they're just getting flat beat off the ball.
It is a new offensive line down there as well. A lot of new faces on that line. Hunter will just try to run for it, and Turvey Williams will bring him down. And so you look at it, Phil, Billy Brown is trying to do anything. He goes, let me get my best athlete out there and start running, and that's not working either.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line's got no answers for our speed. I mean, we're just so much quicker than they are on the front line. It's not even. I mean, there's just the kids literally are not getting out of their stance, and our guys are buying.
Loss of 5 yards, so it's 3rd down and 22. Ball backed up all the way to the Shawnee 25-yard line. The Wolves need the Shawnee 47-yard line for a 1st down. So 3rd down and 22. 7.5 minutes of play in the second quarter. Heath Hunter with 3 receivers. 2 men in the backfield. You would think they're to block. Hunter comes near side, lobs it up. C.J. Ward eyeing this one. Almost had his 2nd interception tonight, his 3rd on the season, as he would more than likely bring it down before the intended receiver, Scout Calvey, could. And you can kind of tell there, Heath was just kind of throwing it up to get rid of the football before the pressure came.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's a situation, again, to where you do that because you don't have enough time to throw it. So really, the only options you have are just to turn around and throw one as fast as you can, which means you're not going to be complicated at all with the routes that you run. And from that perspective, it becomes a very difficult play to complete.
Nice punt here. Marcellus Owens with the return from the 36-yard line. First guy misses, but I think we got a flag coming. Marcellus breaks a tackle, changes field, midfield. I think this one's coming back, so he is pushed out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. But again, I think this one is coming back. It looked like a block in the back there by Caden Ballard Stevenson, right where Marcellus made his first move. And indeed, that is the call. 7:07 to play in the second quarter. So this one will be backed up a little bit.
And the Blue Jays with a chance to really put the jugular on this game. Up 14 points, decent field position. Shawnee is really reeling at this point. So this is a chance for this Blue Jay offense to really take control of this game.
So with the penalty, it'll be backed up to the 29-yard line. First down and 10. Blue Jays will bring in Max Met for the receiver to the near side. 2 receivers to the far side. Jackson Waddell in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Adams and pays for it with the loss all the way back to the 25-yard line. So we have a loss of 4 on the play. Blue Jays going backwards here so far. Second down and 14, 6:54, 6:53 to play until halftime.
But we've mentioned several different times, when you get the lead, you can dictate the type of offense that you want to play, and you can run the ball. You don't have to score every time you get it once you get the lead, like the Blue Jays do up 14-0. You can stay patient and do everything and anything you want with the tempo of the game.
Jackson Waddell sends Brody Hinkle into motion left to right. And we have a flag by the back judge.
Legal substitution on the defense, and that's obviously, the Shawnee just had the big play defensively and they're reeling a little bit. That is an absolute killer for them because they finally got a little bit of momentum. They finally got this Guthrie offense stopped, and in a long yardage situation, they give it right back with a penalty.
Instead of second down and 14, it's now second down and 9 for the Jays. Hinkle in the motion. Jackson rolls to the near side, plants the feet, wide open. Hinkle caught the 45. He's in the Shawnee territory, sheds a tackle at the 45, and down at the 43-yard line. Great route by Brody, great pass by Jackson, and results in a great play call for Coach Scott Megan. The Blue Jays are in Shawnee territory.
You mentioned get Hinkle going, and Hinkle ran that wheel route out of the slot, and what happened is that inside safety took the inside receiver, and then from there, Brody Hinkle ran the wheel route and nobody covered him, and Jackson Waddell just laid it right in for him.
27-yard pass and catch from senior Jackson Waddell to senior Brody Hinkle. Blue Jays taking their time here. 10 seconds on the play clock. First and 10 from the Shawnee 43-yard line. Adams gets the call up the middle. And he might get back to the line of scrimmage at best, and so that'll bring up a second down 10 play, 5:42 and rolling until halftime. Guthrie on top, 14-0.
Justin Adams, he's not the fastest of guys, obviously, but he is very nifty with the way that he's just kind of able to sidestep defenders and make the first guy miss, and then once he does that, he gets immediately downhill and gets good yardage, at least gets positive yardage just about every time he carries it.
Go Blue Jays! Blue Jays at the line of scrimmage, checking the sideline. 10 seconds on the play clock. 5:13 to play. First half. Hinkle into motion, left to right. 3 receiver set. Jackson option play, options off to Adams, has room to run, gets to the Shawnee 40 to the 35, first down, has the at the 30, across the 25, and out of bounds on that far Shawnee sideline. They'll call him out of bounds at the 25. 18 happy yards for Justin Adams.
And that's a play that is off of that last wheel route that the Blue Jays ran. Brody Hinkle this time ran the wheel route to the right. You just completed that pass. We do have a flag, though, on the play.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a hold case.
And that's going to be behind the first down marker. So what that's going to do is it's going to back it up and make it about a 2nd and 13 and eliminate a great play. But you ran that wheel route to Brody Hinkle, you completed it, and now you run that wheel route again, but then instead of throwing it, you option it back to the other side of the field. You've rolled all the safeties to that wheel, then you option it back, and Shawnee had nobody home. Too bad there was a penalty, though.
So makes it second down and 13 from the 46-yard line. Play clock again, rolling down, under 5 to play. 3 receiver set for Jackson Waddell. Adams gets the call again. Not much as he gets across the 45. So Guthrie will be looking at a 3rd down and 11. Ball will be placed on that far hash mark.
And just kind of back to the bread and butter, that little just off tackle play over Parker Rainey and Dollar over that left side. No tight end this time, but the Blue Jays have had good success with that side of the offensive line, and really what you're trying to do on a 2nd and 13 is get 4, 5, 6 yards. Cut this thing in half knowing that you can go for it. You have 2 downs still to go for it knowing that you're in plus territory.
Parker Rainey, of course, moving to the defensive line to the offensive line due to the injury to Jamal Ronas. Jackson Waddell rolls out to the right side, throws it on the run. Marcel's open at the 35, catches it, breaks a tackle, and finally brought down at the 32-yard line. And it will be good enough for Blue Jay. First down. Clock stops, 4:10 to play till halftime.
What you love about the way that the Blue Jays are playing offense right now is the fact that every time they throw it, Jackson Waddell, if he does have one weakness, it's not his fault. He's not very tall, so it's hard for him to see over the offensive line. And so the Blue Jays are just simply rolling him out to his right side, and that allows him enough time to where plays can develop down the field and he's hitting them.
Shawnee takes a timeout. We'll do the same thing. 14-0 Jays on top. 4:01 to play till halftime. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Blue Jays trying to add to the scoreboard on top. 14-0 here just before the half. Blue Jays back onto the field. First down and 10 from the Shawnee 32-yard line. Here in the home opener for the Blue Jays inside Jelsma Staidum. 3 receivers to the far side. Jackson wants one-on-one with Marcellus. Throws it up into the inside the 5. Did he come down with the catch? It looked like he did. No, it does not. But a flag does come down. It looks like this will be pass interference. It's one of those
deals.
I
wonder if it's not going to be on offense. Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be on defense. The defender never turned his head around. And I think this one's going to be a first down for the Blue Jays. Yeah. He had hands to the face, and Marcellus was basically mugged on there. I thought he might have made the catch.
Yeah. But Marcellus was upset with himself that he didn't. But, you talk about skill players for the Blue Jays playing with confidence. They certainly are as we speak. Marcellus Owens, C.J. Ward, Jackson Waddell, Brody Hinkle just caught a big wheel route. Shawnee really has no answer what this Blue Jay offense is doing to him.
Again, Guthrie 14, Shawnee 0. Penalty will move it to the 17-yard line. First down and 10. Khalid Jackson lines up at receiver on the far side. Big 6'5", 225. Brody Hinkle on the near side. K. Gugensberg in the slot on the far side. Jackson hands it off to Justin Adams, spins at the 15, puts a hand down to give him an extra yard in around the 12, 13-yard line. Good 4-yard run there by Justin Adams. Blue Jays in no hurry here, Casey. 3:41 and rolling until halftime.
Well, there would be no better medicine than to, and Shawnee got the ball first, so the Blue Jays get the ball first to start the second half. If Guthrie could take off about another 2 minutes off this clock and then go take a 3-score lead into the halftime locker room, that would be huge.
Second down and 6, 4-yard pickup, low snap. Jackson gets it though, hands off to CJ, trying to get the edge, and will be hit for a big loss all the way back past the 20, and we'll probably mark it the 22-yard loss of 9. And one of those deals with CJ, when it goes good, it goes good, and when it goes bad, it can go bad, as he's an east-west type runner.
He is, and a lot of times he'll turn that corner and outrun the defense, and it'll be exciting. Other times he's going to run backwards and lose about 7. So, it just is what it is. Whenever you hand the ball off to CJ, you get good, then sometimes you get bad. And that time, Shawnee was able to run him down, and it was bad. Long third down.
Third down and 16 officially. Jackson looks to throw. Look into the end zone. Gugensberg caught inside the 5. Did he get in? No sign. There it is. Touchdown Blue Jays, and they're back on the scoreboard. Blue Jays on top, 20-0 PAT upcoming. Jackson Waddell with his third passing touchdown of the night.
Oh, and what a play. Just simply dropped straight back to pass. And for any time that play to work, you have to first give the offensive line a whole lot of credit, because that's just a straight drop for a quarterback that's not real tall. You got to give him a lot of vision and a lot of time for that play to develop. That deep post to Gugelsberg, the offensive line did it. Jackson delivered 6 points.
Extra point up and good. Blue Jays in control this first half on top 21-0, 2:31 to play in the first half. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
It's a beautiful day to introduce people to the golden goodness of Golden Chick. So this is your first time you've had Golden Chick. What do you think?
Absolutely delicious.
These are 100% tenderloin, no mystery meat.
I love them. They're so juicy and tender.
How long do you think it takes to marinate a perfect piece of chicken?
Probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20. An hour?
What if I told you 24 hours? Wow. I feel like one of those infomercial guys. But wait, there's more time marinating the chicken. One taste and you're golden. Come on, I need this back.
Hello, Blue Jay family. I'm Pastor Hetty. I want to invite you to North Church Guthrie, where you can expect fun, Bible-centered kids and student ministries, life-giving groups, engaging worship, and powerful messages. I would love to see you and your family at North Church Guthrie this Sunday at 9:30 or 11 a.m. at Guthrie Upper Elementary School, where our vision is to love God, love people, and follow Jesus. And remember, God loves you, and go win.
Blue Jays on top, 21-0. Blue Jays go 71 yards on 8 plays. Took 4 minutes and 36 seconds off the game clock. 23-yard touchdown pass. Jackson Waddell to Kay Gugelsberg. Gugelsberg's first touchdown of the year. 2:31 to play till halftime. Guthrie 21, Shawnee 0. That has been your John Vance Motors scoring summary. John Vance Motors, where it's comfortable to buy a car.
And Guthrie has done anything and everything they've wanted on both sides of the ball, whether it be run, pass, stop the run, stop the pass, kick balls down to the 5-yard line. Shawnee is just breathing right now.
Kick fumble at the 5, picked up though, return quickly up to the 15 and down at the 15-yard line. Nice job there. Looked like Kel Kaufman in on that tackle. So Shawnee Wolves are trying to get anything going here behind their star quarterback, Heath Hunter. So far shut out by this Kelly BB defense.
You know what the temptation is? We saw it last week with Enid. The temptation is, hey, let's just start slinging this thing all over the field. Let's try to get all 21 points back on this one drive. And if you do that, we've seen what a Kelly BB defense can do to you and pick six you and take something that is difficult right now, but it's still doable if you're Shawnee. And you could be down 35 points in an eyelash.
Timeout taken. We'll take a timeout with them. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Bluejays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
And Heath Hunter's going down again as Gooseby gets through Heath Hunter once again. Blue Jays have been in the backfield all night long. This one, Dominic Gooseby, the senior, brings him down. It's going to be a big loss as the clock will roll underneath 2 minutes here in about 3 seconds.
That was not total disaster for Shawnee. What would have been total disaster is if Hunter would have tried to force something, throw it up. Next thing you know, the Blue Jay fight song's playing, which is what we saw a week ago at Enid. We saw last year with Piedmont. That's the tendency you get into whenever you're in a scramble down 21-0. But it was a good play by Hunter just to eat it, keep the clock moving, try to regroup at halftime if you can.
Loss of 5 yards, second down and 15. Ball thrown up anybody's chance there. It's incomplete for the intended receiver, number 2, Scout Calvi. Nice coverage there by the Blue Jays. Number 10, Hector Gooseby. They've been all over the field tonight, has Gooseby.
And Hunter really, Billy Brown, we talk about how good of a play caller he is, and he's one of the elite play callers in the state of Oklahoma. But whenever your quarterback has taken 10 hits
and he's got
so
hit
far
again
this evening, there's nothing you can do other than just have him drop back and throw it as far as he can, because that's all you have time for.
3rd down and 15 for the Wolves. 3 receiver sets. See how fancy they get here. It's just a little inside handoff, and Hunter saw it, pulled it out, throws it away out of bounds, and Blue Jays are just disrupting everything. Shawnee cannot get anything going. And now we'll punt the football away. There wasn't to hand that one off on a little inside handoff, and Nelson time off, but Heath Hunter saw that one was going to be hit for him. Big loss. Did a good job of pulling it, throwing it out of bounds, saving a few yards.
And another factor is Guthrie being in control of this game has saved their timeout, so they forced Shawnee to throw the ball twice, knowing that Guthrie could use their timeouts to kill the clock anyways. And now with 1:29 to go in the half, Blue Jays are going to be in plus territory when they get the ball back and have a chance to score again, and then get the ball to start the second half.
Nice punt here by Heath Hunter. CJ bounces in front and picks it up at the 40, and the Wolves cover this one nicely, and CJ will be tackled out of bounds. And we're set. Of course, Casey, you mentioned Blue Jays get the ball first in the second half, so that will definitely help here. See if they can put some points on the board and try to separate themselves and get out of here with the second win in a row.
And I'm sure that the last possession of the first half, when the Blue Jays had it in plus field position, this one's going into the end zone. That played into it. When you have a 21-0 lead, obviously you can play however you want. You don't have to try to go and score. Now, the Blue Jays did throw the interception, but it was way down there by the Shawnee end zone, or the Blue Jay end zone, so it was not dangerous. So you could play conservative there, not only knowing you had the 21-0 lead, but also knowing that you get the ball to start the second half, something the Blue Jays are doing here.
Yeah, the interception with time close to expiring there. So Jackson, as you said, was just trying to make a big play at the end. So here we go, third quarter action. Blue Jays will have a 1st down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Phil, we got your microphone fixed, so you can go as normal. Here we go. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side. Now Marcellus in a motion from right to left to put the 3 receivers on that far side. Jackson Waddell hands it off to Justin Adams. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but momentum takes it out to the 23-yard line. 3-yard pickup for the senior running back.
And what you like about that is you take Marcellus Owens into motion to make it trips to the left side of the formation. You figure they're going to roll some coverage, maybe a linebacker that way, and then what you do is you run it back to the right side. So you're trying to run some misdirection to get the ball ran to the right side, which is the side of the offensive line you haven't had quite as much success to. Great setup by Coach Mick, and a 2nd down and 7, you're ahead of the chains.
Justin Adams, a junior, correction there with a 3-yard pickup. 2nd down and 7, play clock down to 3. Got to hurry up here, too. They do with 1 second. Adams again tripped up at the 25-yard line, pickup of 2. 3rd down and 5 for the Blue Jays from their own 25 upcoming.
Coach Mick loves that counter play. We saw that whole package last week where the Blue Jays ran the counter, then they ran the counter bubble, and then they ran a Y hot off of that. So that is almost like the inside zone for most teams. That is Coach Mick's bread and butter.
Blue Jays with 3 receivers set here. 3rd and 5, they need the 30. Jackson looking near side, throws it. Marcellus with the catch at the 32. Up to the 35, breaks the tackle. He's at the 40. 45 midfield on the far sideline. He's at the 40. 35, 31, got to be at the 20, and he will do it at the 10. 5, touchdown, Marcellus Owens. His 2nd touchdown of the night, his 3rd of the season. And the Blue Jays are opening it up now on top, 27-0.
It's a 3rd down and 5. What's beautiful about this, it's a 3rd down and 5, partner. And the 3rd down receiver so far this year has been Brody Hinkle. I think we would all agree with that, right? So you run Brody Hinkle on that little out pattern that the Blue Jays have hit him on several times on 3rd down. So the entire defense goes after Brody Hinkle. And then off of that out pattern, Marcellus just runs a little under slip screen, just a little slip screen underneath that out. Jackson lets it develop, hits Marcellus, and Marcellus outruns everybody to the end zone.
Extra point up and good for David Vargas, and the Blue Jay lead is now 28-0. 10:36 to play in the 3rd quarter. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football. And once again, having difficulties with our laptops. So we'll try to get it figured out here in just a second as the Blue Jays on top 28-0 KC, and just looking to maybe one more score and kind of get a little bit comfortable here.
Well, and like you said, you came out, you ran your bread and butter counter play. You ran, just a little inside play to the right where you tried to run some motion to Marcellus to roll some coverage to get it back to come to the right side. And then you use your third down weapon in Brody Hinkle and use him as a decoy where you run him on about a 5-yard out. Jackson Waddell drops back. He lets that play develop. He sees the coverage. All goes to Hinkle, and then you have the little under slip screen to Marcellus underneath that out route, and Jackson sees it comes open. He sees the safety bites on Brody Hinkle. Next thing you know, he's hitting Marcellus streaking right down the middle of the field, and there was nobody in Shawnee White that was going to be able to catch Marcellus Owens. That was a very happy 3-play, 80-yard drive that was capped off, and that pitch and catch that I just described a couple of times was 75 yards from Jackson Waddell to Marcellus Owens, and it took 1:24 in just 3 plays. So 10:36 to go in the third quarter, and this Blue Jay team just literally looks unstoppable the way that they're playing this evening as far as offense, defense, running the ball, you name it. This is a Blue Jay team that is really going to send shockwaves through the 5A world. People are going to wonder what's going on here because this is not something that was expected.
And it's the way they're doing it. Coach Mick has done up some great plays. I mean, it's really balanced offense.
It's very balanced offense, and you're doing it with running back by committee. You're doing it by rolling out and Waddell and letting him see the field better. Vargas is getting ready to kick off here, and you're doing it by running counter plays and misdirection. You're doing it by running power. And then you're doing it by converting third downs as the kickoff return is coming right now to the 40 to the 42. And that's where Shawnee will take over the football, first down and 10.
And here comes that Blue Jay defense back onto the field, and they had a tremendous first half, Phil. Blue Jays defense, I mean, it wasn't 1, 2, 3. It was 5, 6, 7, 8 guys getting after it.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive effort tonight's been outstanding, obviously, and Torvey is a big part of that. He plays linebacker, step up on the D-line sometimes. So we'll see how they adjust without him there. I mean, they'll be fine, obviously, but they will miss big 2-0.
So Richard Doolittle on the defensive line. That will bring Josh Raines and Cade Whitfield as your 2 linebackers to begin the third quarter. Heath Hunter looking for a receiver caught by Calvi, breaks the tackle in Guthrie territory at the 41, down at the 40. So from the 40 to the 40, here come the Shawnee Wolves.
And that's what they can do. You don't want to fall asleep. Obviously, you have the 4-score lead, but there's a team in 5A that can overcome a 28-0 deficit. This is the team that could do it in Shawnee because they have the ability to strike quick with the forward pass.
20-yard reception for the Shawnee Wolves. Now it's first down and 10 at the Guthrie 40-yard line. 3 receiver set. Heath Hunter looks to throw. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage by Richard Doolittle. Richard did a good job getting that passing lane incomplete.
The best way to, obviously you're not going to be able to get to the quarterback on a pass that's getting out of the quarterback's hands that fast. You're not going to get to sack him. You're not going to get to knock him down like we've seen Guthrie do many times on the long passes from Shawnee tonight. So what do? You just get your big mitts up and you try to knock it down, and that's exactly what Richard Doolittle did.
So the Shawnee Wolves will break the huddle here. Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Shawnee Wolves with 3 receivers in the formation here. From the Guthrie 40, Hunter Owens throw. Here comes pressure by Campbell. Leach throws it last second just to get rid of it. And great coverage there by Gooseby. And Leach drives Hunter all the way to the ground. Hunter did a good job of getting rid of that football, but he is going to be sore tonight, Case.
I was getting ready to say that exact same thing. This is a game that Hunter is going to remember for his whole life, and for his whole life he's going to be trying to forget because this has not been fun for him. I do think we have our issues with the commercials figure.
Yeah.
That was my fault, by the way.
There's a lot of switches up there.
There is. That was my fault. We'll get it all
problem.
down.
We got it all worked out. Third down and 10, 9:55 to play in the third quarter. Guthrie on top, 28-0. Heath Hunter with 4 receivers set. Running back on the left side. Here's pressure up the middle again. And the pass is incomplete at the 25-yard line. Intended receiver was Trent Skinner. He had Kel Kaufman and J.D. Coonfield covering him, and it was a couple Blue Jays putting pressure once again on Heath Hunter.
And anytime you see a 7-man rush and you only have 5 guys blocking versus 7 that are on a pass rush, there's obviously 2 guys that are going to be unaccounted for, which means you're going to have to throw the ball before they get to you unblocked. And that's not very long.
And Kelly Beebe knows that.
No doubt, no doubt.
That's the bad news. Punt formation for the Shawnee Wolves. Heath Hunter back at his own 47-yard line. He's had some good punts tonight. C.J. Ward and Marcellus Owens at the 10-yard line. This was a high punt. Marcellus will let this one go. He'll take a big Shawnee bounce at the 5 and will die in around the 7 or 8-yard line. So nice punt there by Heath Hunter. And the Shawnee Wolves will have it, the Guthrie Bluejays will have it first down and 10. They've scored 4 times tonight, all 4 through the air.
Well, through the air, but set up by the run.
Yes.
For the simple fact that you've run the counter, you've run some power, you've run some zone, and then you get those linebackers from Shawnee to think run to play downhill. Then once you do that, and they take those 2 or 3 steps forward, then you just throw those little shallow crosses and quick slants across the middle to the vacated spots. And it's just been perfection for Coach Mick and this Blue Jay offense all evening.
Adams running back on the right side of Jackson Waddell. Lead play for Jackson. There he goes. 15 to the 20, 25, 30. Trips at the 31-yard line. And that was a big one. Jackson Waddell points for the first down. A nice pick up about, we'll give him, out to the 31 -9, 22 yards for the senior quarterback.
And it was not fancy at all. We've talked about some of the misdirection. That wasn't. That was just simply a lead play over the right side. Just what you would call 14 lead. Just the quarterback take it, get behind his fullback, and see what he can get behind that right side of the offensive line. And Jackson Waddell saw a lot of green grass ahead and got good yards.
That was just the first carry of the night for Jackson Waddell. First and 10 from the Guthrie 31-yard line. Adams stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll lose 2 yards back to the 29-yard line.
And again, this is a Blue Jay offense that has had a lot of success running the ball, but you know, we've talked about the running back by committee, and you tend to forget your quarterback, Jackson Waddell.
Yeah.
And he may be the fastest one out of all of them whenever he gets going. We've seen him outrun defenses before. And we saw that little quarterback lead a couple of plays ago. The kid can run.
Second down, and we'll call it 11 yards for the Blue Jays back at their own 30-yard line. 8:29 to play in the third quarter. Guthrie 28, Shawnee 0. Little handoff to C.J. Ward. This could get exciting. Gets to the outside to the 35. Gets out to the outside again. 40, far sideline, 45, and tackled at midfield. C.J. Ward with a 20-yard run. And that will stop the clock as the chains will move. C.J. Ward with another nice run. His second nice run of the night.
And what you like about what C.J. did was that he didn't try to outrun the defense to the edge. What he did was he got downhill. He got through the line of scrimmage to the second level of defense before he made that one cut. Now when you make that one cut when you're at the second level, now you get an angle on that safety and you're able to outrun him to the corner. That's exactly what C.J. Ward did to the far boundary.
Blue Jays 342 yards of offense. Getting ready to run play number 37 offensively here tonight. First and 10 at their own 45-yard line. 3 receiver set. Ball's on the far hash mark. Another lead play for Jackson Waddell. Across midfield, another first down. Then he slides at the 42-yard line. Nice play there by Jackson Waddell. You can tell he's a shortstop with a nice little slide in there before contact was coming.
Yeah, and that's that same, what I call 14 lead, just a quarterback lead over an inside hole over the right side, and you have a lead blocker in Justin Adams, something he does very, very well. And you just see how big of an old boy are you for a defense that has been gashed and gassed all night long.
12-yard pickup for Jackson Waddell. Blue Jays now 23 carries on the night for 130 yards. First down and 10 from the Shawnee 43-yard line. 3 receiver set. They hand off to Kel Kaufman. He bounces it to the outside. He's across the 40, across the 35, and close to another first down for the Blue Jays. So fresh legs in there as far as offensively for Kel Kaufman. So you've seen Adams, Kaufman, and Ward on this offensive drive so far.
Yeah, and
of course Jackson Waddell.
And one thing you love about it is that you've built your big lead. You're 28-0, and you've done it by running some counter misdirection. Now you're not doing anything other than just simply turning around. No pulling guards, no misdirection, just a quarterback lead now, an inside zone, and you're still getting first downs off of it. That shows dominance.
Blue Jays 140 yards rushing, 239 passing yards. Kaufman gets another carry here at the 30-yard line and bring in Phil Nichols. Last week in the loss to Choctaw Field, Coach Billy Brown after the game said his kids were not in shape and they were going to have to work on that. And we look at that defensive line, they got a lot of hands on the hips.
Well, I mean, they're definitely tired. They're gassed. There's no doubt about it. A lot of big old boys up around the D-line, and they're feeling it in this hot last day of August.
Even if you're in great shape, it's going to be a little bit difficult just because of the temperatures that reached almost 100 degrees today.
Well, I mean, I'm in superior physical condition, and I am absolutely sweating right now.
Absolutely.
I promise you the ball's not on the 3,331th yard line.
Second down and 8. Jackson Waddell, option play. He'll keep it to the 25, out to the 20, 15, cuts a corner at the 10, and push that around the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Blue Jays. 6.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Already on top, 28-0.
Yeah, and you run the inside zone. You run just simple lead plays for the quarterback, and then you get them keyed in on that first run. And then what do? You run option, where you give a pitch element to it and a pitch option to it. And the defense keys in on the first guy and the pitch guy, and they don't know who to pick. And the next thing you know, a very fast quarterback in Jackson Waddell is going around the right side for huge yards.
Huge yards, resulting 25 yards for Jackson Waddell. He's had a nice offensive series here running the football. Of course, he has 4 passing scores of the night. First and goal for the Blue Jays at the 6-yard line. 3 receiver set. Kel Kaufman might get a call here. He does on the right side. Cuts it up in the middle. Across the 5, battling all the way close to the 3 or 4-yard line. So there is a flag down on the far side at the line of scrimmage. It will be a false start against the Blue Jays.
False start.
It is a false start against the Blue Jays, so that'll back them up. 6:09. Clock is actually rolling. They need to get that stopped. It's still rolling. I think they're going to have to put some time back on if they want to do that. I would think at least 6:10 back on the clock, I think. We'll see. The back judge coming into the referee who has the best view of it.
Now the ball's on the 400,000 yard line. It's not on that, I promise.
Of course, our radio crew, we have our video broadcast.
Oh, yeah. And we're working out new kinks, and I think it's kind of fun to look at. Boy, how good of a job is Brad Hinkle doing on that video, man?
All right, we'll get that situated. Radio crew will send the message to next door to put 6:12 on the game clock.
6:12, okay. Well, I'll do that myself.
Of course, Casey referring to the scoreboard for our radio listening audience out there. 6:12 put back on the scoreboard, and the penalty moves it to the 11-yard line. So it's first and goal from the 11. Clock now in the play and rolling. 28-0. Jays trying to add to it here. Kel Kaufman, that's going to be Jackson Waddell on a lead play. And Jackson will take it from the 11 to in around the 5-yard line, depending on the spot. Blue Jays making their on the right side of your radio dial. Jays moving toward the south end zone, the baseball side of things here inside beautiful Jelsma Stadium.
Well, one thing you love about what the Blue Jays have been able to do offensively tonight is that they have run on the left side of the offensive line early in the game. Then they ran misdirection to make it look like both sides. Now they're running it on the right side. So they've shown that they've been able to dominate on both sides of the offensive line of scrimmage.
Second to go from the 4-yard line. Jackson hands it off to Adams on the left side, trying to tuck it in there. It's going to be close. It'll be at the half-yard line. So third down and goal for the Blue Jays. See if they give it back. They have so many options. They may be able to do it with Jackson tonight, Justin Adams tonight, CJ, Kel will See what Coach Mick wants to go here on a 3rd down and go from inside the 1-yard line. We have 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
And I'll tell you, another option they have is 4th down if they need it.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know that if they don't get it here, they have another down to do it.
Handoff Adams leaps forward, and he is into the end zone. Blue Jays with their first rushing touchdown of the night. Blue Jays on top, 34-0 PAT upcoming. Fifth Blue Jay to score tonight, Justin Adams, with the first rushing score of the night, gives the Jays 34-0 lead. PAT upcoming.
Not fancy, just literally drove the ball right down Shawnee's throat and punched it in.
David Vargas has been good on the night. A line drive kick is up, and it's good. 4:47 play in the 3rd quarter. All Blue Jays tonight. 35-0 over the Shawnee Wolves. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans, Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Bluejays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my Pike Pass and car needs so I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
Blue Jays back in the end zone. An impressive drive. Perhaps the most impressive drive of the night. Blue Jays go 91 yards on 10 plays, capped off by junior Justin Adams' 1-yard touchdown run. Drive took 4 minutes and 53 seconds off the clock. So with 4:47 to play in the 3rd quarter, Guthrie 35, Shawnee 0. And that has been your John Vance Motors scoring summary. John Vance Motors, where it's comfortable to buy a car, truck, or van.
It's comfortable to drive their vehicles, too. We drove one to Miami, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yep.
From one of their dealerships to the other. Seems like we drove a big old pickup, and then we drove a candy apple red Maserati or something on the way home, didn't we?
Locations, Guthrie, Perry, Miami. David Vargas approaches the football, kicks this one. A short kick. It'll be fielded at the 13-yard line, quickly out to the 20 on the near side, across the 30. Now trying to backpedal a little bit. It's going to cost him a few yards as Cade Whitfield in on the tackle. Cale Kaufman also there. Justin Adams also there. They'll bring him down at the 29-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Shawnee Wolves, who, again, just had a hard time getting going here tonight.
Now you're really in a quandary if you're Coach Brown, offensive play callers for Shawnee. You want to work on your offense, but you don't want to get your quarterback killed, which has happened all night long. And you think, well, we don't run the ball that well without our starting running back. So if we try to run it, we might go 3 and out. The next thing you know, Guthrie has 2 more touchdowns on you. So it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Hunter comes to the near side with the pass. It goes through the hands of Scout Calvey at the 34-yard line. Looks like he took off running before he actually hauled in the catch. It's incomplete. C.J. Ward in on the coverage there to bring up 2nd down and 10.
You just see another Shawnee Wolf looking around to see if he was going to get hit by a Blue Jay defender before he tried to catch the ball. And, you know, Hunter getting hit as much as he has, the secondary tackling as well as this Blue Jay secondary has, you don't blame him.
From the 29-yard line, Wolves 2nd down and 10. 3 receiver set. They'll hand it off to the speedy running back here. Cuts it up at the 30 to the 35. Breaks a tackle. Breaks a 2nd tackle. Davis Scott trying to strip it out from behind, but not before a nice little carry for the Shawnee Wolf running back number 20, Dimitri Beavers. He's a 5'8" sophomore, 150-pound running back.
They do not have their starting running back, but Beavers, like we said, very capable in his own right. Very fast. He can outrun you to the corner. And so give the Blue Jay defense a lot of credit for what you call bubbling that run and running him sideways long enough to where the defense can get pursuit angles.
Shawnee Wolves to the offensive line, or to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 2 from the 37. Need the 39 for the first down. They'll try to run for it. Toss the Beavers on the outside. Him against Coonfield, and J.D. Coonfield will win that almost every single time. A loss all the way back to the 35. J.D. Coonfield was named the NewsOK.com Player of the Week, so congratulations to him for that honor, as it was 7 or 8 guys competing across the state. Of course, it's a popular vote, but still, yeah, J.D. Coonfield had a great game last week, rewarded with that, with the recognition from the state's largest newspaper.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and very well deserved. J.D. Coonfield's one of those guys you look at and you're not quite sure what you're seeing, but I promise you, he's one of the better athletes on the field. The kid can run. He's aggressive. Once he gets to you, he tackles. J.D. Coonfield is a tremendous football player. Very underrated.
Pretty good. And there's a fake punt here, and Heath Hunter, the punter, throws it. It's caught at the 41st down and out of bounds in around the 45-yard line. I was going to bring that up earlier. I just forgot to mention that Heath Hunter is obviously the quarterback and also the punter. Had to watch that, and they come out a little bit trickery, and it pays off as they'll pick up the first down. Just enough yardage around the 45 to continue the drive. 3:32 to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, and if for no other reason, just to keep the ball out of Guthrie's offense's hands, an offense that this Shawnee defense has not been able to stop at all. So that was just kind of, let's see if we can get a first down, reset some things, and keep the ball out of the Blue Jays' hands.
1st and 10 from the 45. Hunter wants to throw far side, and nice. Nope, there's the flag. I thought that was a nice play, but Caden Ballard-Stevenson wrapped the arm around the wide receiver, Scout Calby, right in front of the official, and that will be a penalty against the Blue Jays. Before that, Shawnee's only 69 yards of offense here tonight, and 112 through the air, but they're rushing negative 43, and of course you add in the sacks, that's where that comes in at.
Yep, no doubt, and we talked about in the pregame that if you become one-dimensional against the Kelly BB defense, which when you have negative 40 whatever yards rushing, you have become one-dimensional. When that happens to you, then all of a sudden Coach BB starts sending all of his linebackers in a 7-man rush, and all of a sudden your quarterback's picking himself up off the turf each and every play.
So the penalty moves it to the Guthrie 40-yard line. 1st down and 10. Hunter wants to throw again. Here's pressure on both ends. Lobs it downfield one-on-one. Caden Ballard-Stevenson nicely breaks it up, and a late flag thrown in on Caden once again. This appears will be pass interference, 15 yards. And so the Shawnee Wolves trying to look for their first points of the night. Trail this one 35-0.
And really just nothing other than throwing the ball as far as he can, letting the receiver try to come back, underthrow, the dreaded underthrown deep ball. And that results in pass interference more times than not because the defender doesn't know how to adjust to it. And I think if anything else, maybe Caden didn't turn his head around, and that's maybe where he got the penalty.
So move the penalty, or the ball, to the 25-yard line and follow the penalty. 1st down and 10. Hunter comes to the near side. Caught and dropped. And it'll be incomplete pass. The intended receiver there, number 13, Jalen Orange, the freshman that we were bragging about, and that Coach Billy Brown says one of the smartest players he's ever coached. And big compliment for the freshman. Drops that one, though. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Another Wolf looking to get tackled and or run with the football before he caught it, and that's what you call a quick and under. Looks like you're going to throw the quick. It sets up, and then instead of actually throwing the quick, the receiver just takes a step underneath the block he's getting. You try to slip underneath that and outrun the defense like Marcellus Owens did early in the game, but didn't hold on to the ball.
2nd down and 10, 2 men in the backfield to give Hunter a little extra time. Here comes Doolittle, and Doolittle's going to get him for a sack inside the 40-yard line. And there was 4 Blue Jays hunting down Heath Hunter. Heath never had a chance. He was rolling against his body, couldn't square his body up, or he's really going to get popped. And he goes down for a sack all the way back to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and the problem that he had was the fact that he was rolling to his left, which meant that he had to stop his feet, replant to try to get rid of the ball, which allowed the pursuit from the backside of that and Richard Doolittle to catch up to him. If he had been rolling right as a right-handed quarterback, he could have thrown it on the run the distance he needed to, but Hunter knew once that he had to stop his feet, he was a dead duck.
Yeah, lost 11 yards on the sack. 3rd down and 21. The Wolves need the 15-yard line. 4 receiver set. Blue Jays will bring 5. Up the middle, Josh Raines, and Hunter just gets it away off to Trent Skinner. It's caught inside the 35-yard line, pushed out of bounds in around the 30-yard line. As once again, Hunter on a completed pass that picks up about 6 yards or so is rushed once again. This time Josh Raines getting to him.
And it's a great concept because you mentioned the Blue Jays bringing 5 and one of them being a linebacker. You try to hit that blitz and you try to throw that little shallow cross right behind where the linebacker's blitzing from, and then you try to get an angle on the safety and get a lot of yards, which Shawnee did, and they got enough to where it gave them a chance at least to try to complete this 4th down.
4th down and 15. They need the 15-yard line. 2:10 to play in the third quarter. Hunter throws in the end zone, double coverage. Marcellus can come up with it. Incomplete. Marcellus was close to the interception, which was a good thing that he did not intercept it, but there is a flag down at the behind the line of scrimmage, and this might be going against Blue Jays on a late hit.
Yeah, and if that is the case, that would give Shawnee the 1st down.
No official sign yet.
Is there actually a flag? Yeah, there is. I see it now.
I think it's going to be a roughing the passer,
which would give Shawnee the ball back.
2:03 left in the third.
It's a 1st down either way. Roughing the passer. And that's one of those personal fouls as a defensive coach that you have to act like you're mad, but at the same time you're not, because you've had a million sacks and you can't tell your kids to slow down, and you're happy with the aggressiveness they're playing with. You're not happy with the fact they got a penalty, but you are happy with the fact that they're so aggressive that they're creating mistakes like that.
Of course,
Coach 15.
Coach Beebe always looking for that shutout here.
Oh, no doubt. Especially against a Shawnee team. That would be a feather in his hat if he could shut out Billy Brown.
Of course, the Shawnee Wolves making the move up from 5A to 6A Division II this year. Opened up at Choctaw last week, got the Blue Jays here tonight. They'll have a bye week next week before finishing district play with the Carl Howard Titans. So here we go, resuming action, 1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Ball handed off to the Beavers kid up the middle, made one of Jays miss in the backfield, gets it to the 10-yard line, a 5-yard pickup.
And a good run by him. When you look at that's supposed to be an outside run, and the defensive end that way had it covered. Doolittle, and forced him to cut it back in, something Beaver did, and got 5 out of something it looked like he was going to get nothing.
Wolves with just 64 yards of offense here tonight. 2nd down and 5 from the 10-yard line. Headed toward the rock. Wolves trying to score for the first time tonight. Hunter rolls out to the near side, points the receiver to the end zone, lobs it up for Calvi, and it goes sailing out of bounds. It's incomplete. C.J. Ward on the coverage, got a help from his teammate. And number 10, Hector Gooseby, incomplete. Now looking at the Shawnee passing game tonight. We will go officially looking on my phone, so it's a little bit harder to find here tonight, but passing now, what's that, 9 of 16? Got to be more than, oh, excuse me, that's Guthrie's numbers. 9 of 25.
Wow.
And that's kind of a mind-boggling number for him. Yeah.
Wow. That's just impressive.
9 of 25 passing for Shawnee, and they were pretty good in the passing game last week. Get to that here in a second. Low snap. Hunter throws it into the opening underneath, and a nice open field tackle by Dominique Gooseby on a 3rd down and 5 play. Did not get there. Maybe 1 yard at most. So the Wolves will have a 4th down and 4 play. Passing last week, Shawnee completed 20 passes for 233 yards.
Yeah, that's like I say, they have all those shallow crosses. They have all of the man beater rub routes that drive you nuts as a defensive coach. They have everything you could want in an offensive passing attack, and the Blue Jays, that's just a credit to how well the Blue Jays have played it.
4th down and 4, and Hunter is hit as he makes the play. Campbell Leach once again gets to him. It's going to be just a frustrating night for Heath Hunter as he was hit by Campbell Leach as he got rid of the football, and now they are 9 of 26 passing, and the Blue Jay defense holds again with 32 seconds left here in the third quarter on top, 35-0.
And I know I sound like a broken record, but you say it over and over and over, obvious passing situation, and that is not good if you are Hunter, because that's when Kelly Beebe like he's done his entire career, but again tonight, that's when he just dials it up. He heats it up.
So the Blue Jay offense back onto the field. See if we can get a little handoff here and get into this fourth quarter.
5 sacks.
By the way, Guthrie with 5 sacks tonight, Casey.
Very impressive.
Yes, it has been. First down and 10 from the 9-yard line. Jackson lead play, and he'll lean forward for a 1-yard pickup to the 10-yard line. And now Guthrie does not have to take another snap in the third quarter if they choose not to.
What a dominating performance by this Blue Jay team. Just from start to finish, been nothing but total domination.
And that will take us into the fourth quarter. Guthrie leads Shawnee 35-0. Looks like they're headed their way to a 2-0 start with Ponca City coming to town next week. We'll see if the Jays can hold it off. Guthrie 35, Shawnee 0. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
They say talk is cheap, and they're right, especially when it comes to football. Only the most talented, hardest working, most physically fit, and best coached teams win football games. It's the same with John Vance Auto Group in Guthrie. We don't just talk about great service, best price, and a free lifetime powertrain guarantee. We do it. Come by and see for yourself.
Everything you've heard about the John Vance Auto Group, it's all true.
I-35 exit 153 in Guthrie.
John Vance Auto Group.
I'm Mike Gundy, head football coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Respect of the opponent, spectators, coaches, and officials is necessary at all levels of athletics and activity programs. Your conduct is a direct reflection of you, your community, and your school. Sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. Do the right thing.
Blue Jays on top of the Shawnee Wolves here in Guthrie, Oklahoma, 35-0 as we get set for fourth quarter action, along with Brian Hinkle, Phil Nichols, Craig Flick, Casey Porter, and Chris Evans. So glad to have you on board here tonight. Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI, also broadcasting this on Guthrie News page, YouTube. Find us there on YouTube / Guthrie News.
What do you call that? GNP TV? Is that what you call that?
Yeah, I think that's what it feels like. It's a bunch of things, but it is officially GMP TV.
Okay.
We'll go with that. Blue Jays will have it. 2nd down and 9 to begin the fourth quarter at their own 10-yard line. Obviously here now, you just want to get out of this ball game injury-free. Yep. Of course, Shawnee lost both of their running backs in last week's game. The starter, Trey Shaw, not playing tonight. As Jackson holds the football across the 15, hit at the 17-yard line. Pickup of, I think, around 7 yards. So the Jays will have a 3rd down and 2 play upcoming.
Keep in mind, this is a Shawnee team that took Choctaw to the wire a week ago.
In overtime.
Yeah, and Choctaw's a 6A1 team, that 6A2 team that borderline playoff team.
Yeah,
I mean, if things go their way, they can make the playoffs. So, I mean, it's a good team that they took right down to the wire a week ago.
And that's now Shawnee's competition as they make the move up to 6A2. So.
Yep, and boy.
As soon as you kind of get some momentum, Shawnee, in 5A football, you bump up to 6A2.
Yeah.
It is tough. And they're kind of in and out of those large classes. 3rd down and 2 from the 17. Justin Adams trying to get there, and I don't think he's going to get there. He does get 1 yard.
Yeah, second effort, I think, may have got it.
We'll see. He needed the 19. It's going to be real close.
They waved their arms dead, so I think they're giving them the 1st down.
Well, let's go downstairs with Phil Level. Phil?
That's 1st down, boys.
They will indeed move the chains. So run just good enough, and now take some time off the clock here. It's at 11:06, and the clock winds into action.
You know, that's what we talked about with Justin Adams. You know, some of the skills that he has. He's one of those slithery guys that every time that he gets hit, he falls forward. You know, you hit him, and the next thing you know, it's 2 extra yards because he makes a little spin, sidesteps a guy, lunges forward, and he always gets positive yards. There's that quarterback lead again.
Yep, across the 20, tripped up to the 25-yard line, 6 yards for Jackson. Stayed in bounds, so the clock will continue to roll.
And a good job by bouncing that out. That play has hit basically over the tackle all night long. It did not this time, and it hit outside, so Jackson saw that instead of just trying to force the play. You know, as a running back, you have a 3-way go, You can bust it up the middle, which means go straight ahead. You can bend it, which means you can cut it back, or you can bounce it, which means you can go outside. Jackson, that play has busted all night long, but it wasn't available, so then he bounced it and outran everybody to the corner. Great vision by Jackson Waddell.
10 to play in the ball game. Stay tuned. After the ball game, the Terror Insure Group post-game show. Jackson hands it off to Justin. 25-30, breaks a tackle. 35 near sideline, 40. And pushed out of bounds in around the 43-yard line. Marcellus Owens with another great downfield block for his running back. And Coach Rick Michoud and Coach Kelly Beebe each give Marcellus a high five for that great block downfield.
No doubt about it. And this is a team that, starting last week, we saw not only, are they making great plays, but a guy like Marcellus, he's doing everything that he needs to do when the ball's not in his hands to make plays for his team as well. So this is a team that you can see has sold out to the team concept of football, and they're so talented that you knew if that ever happened, you could get results like we've seen the first 2 evenings.
C.J. Ward in the backfield for the Blue Jays. First down and 10 from their own 44-yard line. C.J. gets the call here, bouncing way backwards all the way to the 30. Cuts it up, 35, 40. And look at the speed as he gets to midfield. He ran 55 yards and picks up about 6 on the play, and that's just one of those deals with C.J.
It is.
And here's a flag thrown here.
C.J. giveth and C.J. taketh away, and sometimes when he runs the ball, C.J. taketh away. When he talk about he runs backwards first, but then he giveth as he outruns everybody forward, and C.J. has lost his cool at this point. Somebody needs to get control of him, and he needs to carry himself a little bit better than that. That's disappointing.
So after the run there, this one obviously will come back a little bit here against the Jays. 15-yard penalty.
Come on, C.J., compose yourself.
Might be the end of the night for C.J.
Yeah, such an emotional young man, and those emotions go to so many positive things, and sometimes they go towards penalties.
And that's a personal foul, so is it kind of like the high school rule? The college
Second
rule?
Personal foul, I don't know, to be honest with you. He's right, the referee's writing it down, so
right.
I would assume. Is it going to be first down, second down?
The down marker shows first down. The scoreboard shows first down.
Yeah, it's second down because the play happened. Or did he get the first down on the play?
Everyone was lined up except for the officials.
I'm going on record saying it's first down because I think C.J. got the first down. Play was over before the penalty happened. We're getting it sorted out as we speak. Fairly insignificant as the evening's gone on. As far as the developments, what a wonderful evening, what a wonderful start to this 2018 campaign by this Blue Jay football team. Just fantastic. It's going to be first down at 20 from the 34 for the Blue Jays. Well officiated game. This has not been an easy game to officiate, and they have been all over it.
They really have. So it is officially second down. We'll call it second down at 20. As Casey mentioned, from the Guthrie 34-yard line. Adams, handoff, and he'll get across the 35 up to about the 38-yard line. Just a handful of yards there. It'll be third down and long. 9:27 and rolling in this ball game. Guthrie in cruise control here tonight on top, 35-0. Blue Jays, of course, had that dominating win last week, 59-17. Blue Jays will be back home next week when the Ponca City Wildcats come to town. Blue Jays will be big favorites in that one. They won the game a year ago, 48-0, and the bye will come. I don't know if the bye comes at a good time or a bad time. We'll kind of see how it looks like next week, but then they'll have an opening district game against the Piedmont Wildcats.
When you're playing as well as the Blue Jays are, you hate to ever stop playing.
Yeah. Clock rolling. Jackson wants to throw. Had Brody open for a second, but the pressure coming from the Shawnee Wolves will sack Jackson inside the 35-yard line. And so that'll bring up a fourth down play, and here comes David Vargas to punt. I think he punted one time last week.
Say?
Yeah, David Vargas, the punt.
You remembered how to say that?
Well, I'm kind of stuttering. I'm trying. I think he punted one time last week.
Well, this has been a Blue Jay offense that has been rocking and rolling, haven't they?
We'll look up last week here. Look up.
Well, you've got all the numbers right there on the
no punts last week. Okay. So here comes the first punt of the season. It comes in the second game in the fourth quarter.
If I'm Vargas, I'm telling the snapper to snap it low intentionally so he can continue with the 0 punts on the season.
Enid last week only had one punt for 31 yards.
Okay, so he has had a punt.
No. Enid had a punt.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Enid had a punt.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm all baffled right here because as soon as I start seeing that smoke coming over from the baseball field, I know the hamburgers are being cooked. And that kind of throws me for a loop.
4th down, 25, punting time for David Vargas, back at his 15-yard line. One of the best in 5A football. Many publications have him as the best in 5A football. Not his best punt here, but it's an effective one as it bounces at the 45, takes a big Blue Jay bounce. It'll look good on paper as this one will be down at the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Shawnee Wolves. 7:41 to play in the ball game. 39-yard punt with no return.
Well, you talk about no return. 39-yard net. That's just simply fantastic. And that's what you expect out of the senior punter who has, you chew on games and you chew on offense and defense. You forget that these evenly matched games are so many times won by special teams in Guthrie throughout the years. Think of all the great kickers Guthrie's had. You think of the Dante Fosters, the Kentrell brothers, the Kai Staleys, and all those kind of guys, DeMarco Jones, for good reason. We're going to break?
Yep, we'll take a time out. We'll get back to that thought after this. Blue Jays on top, 35-0, 7:41 to play in the ballgame. This is Blue Jay football.
When garage door problems occur, don't call a kind of service company or maybe a repair guy. Call Paul Creed at A-Team Overhead Door. Paul owns and operates his company and has over 15 years of experience in residential and commercial overhead door service. Paul provides all garage door services from repairs to installations. With free estimates, Paul will work with you to decide the best possible solution for your garage door or opener problems. Call A-Team Overhead Door today, 405-642-7065.
Accepting the loss of a loved one is the hardest thing we will ever have to do. At Nelson Monument Company, formerly Warren Monument Company, we aim to make selecting a memorial an easy and healing process. With our compassionate service, state-of-the-art design software, and our new and improved facility, we offer the best overall experience in the industry. Nelson Monument Company, located at 5305 South Division Street in Guthrie. Give us a call at 405-282-3220.
Hi, this is Asa Nelson, and from our family to yours, we would be honored to gain your trust.
1st out of 10 for the Shawnee Wolves. They take over at their own 32-yard line. 7:41 to play in the ballgame. Heath Hunter, the great quarterback, throws on the far side, and it's caught, but for no gain. Gooseby in on the tackle. Scott Calvey with the reception.
Beautiful Blue Jay band is rocking and rolling over there on the east side of this stadium. Boy, this is if you wouldn't want to be here on a Friday night, I'd have to check your pulse. This is where you want to be on a Friday night. This place is awesome.
Shawnee Wolves to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10, again from their 32-yard line. Blue Jay defense has been stellar tonight. Even more impressive than they were last week.
No doubt.
That's hard to do.
No, this game's way more impressive to me than last week's game.
Over the middle, almost intercepted. J.D. Coonfield in the area. Dominique Gooseby, Richard Doolittle trying to find the receiver over the middle, and Trenton Skinner falls incomplete. 3rd down and 10, 6:52 left in the ball game.
That's why a lot of coaches, I know last year that was one of the biggest complaints of Oklahoma State's offense is, why do you always throw it to the sideline? Why aren't you throwing it across the middle more? And the answer is because Rudolph would always throw it high. And if you throw it high across the middle, you have a safety waiting on it. And that's where you get the pick sixes from. And we just about saw one from that Blue Jay defense.
Shotgun formation. Whole team's been in shotgun all night long. 3rd down and 10. They'll hand it off up the middle. Here's a big hole. 35-40, upended at the 42, 43-yard line. And the pickup will be good enough for a Shawnee 1st down.
Yeah, and caught the Blue Jays in a little bit of a stunt. Guthrie's been sending linebackers all night long. up the middle to get to Hunter, and it's been very effective. And got caught in a little bit of a stunt there and ran right by it on the draw play. It happens, but the secondary did a great job of recovering and only giving up about 10 yards.
We'll give them 11 officially. We'll be nice guys. 6.5 to play in the ball game. Guthrie 35, Shawnee 0. Hunter looks to throw. Here's pressure again. He goes down. The ball's in the air, and it is incomplete at the 35-yard line. J.D. Kuhnfield on the nice coverage there, the intended receiver for the Shawnee Wolves. Looked like that is number 2 scout Calvi.
I'd love to be a cover guy in this defense, wouldn't you? You don't have to cover very long because the quarterback's just heaving it up there.
Thanks to part on that play there, Campbell Leach getting to Heath Hunter once again.
And again, when you're trying to double up with blitzing linebackers, you're trying to pick them up. Next thing you know, you're not even blocking the guy that's in front of you.
Wolves in line scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. From their own 43-yard line.
Here they come again.
Near side, caught by Skinner. Makes a move to midfield. Makes another nice little move. It gets to the 47-yard line. It'll go from the 43 to the 47. And it's going to be good enough for a Shawnee first down. Clock stops, 6:09. Stay tuned. Coming up after the ball game, it's the Terra Insure Group post-game show. Inside that, we'll have the Guthrie North Church Player of the Game.
That's just another one of those little quick turnaround hitches. That's about all you can do if you're Shawnee, because that's all the time that Hunter has. The Blue Jay defense just says, you know what, let's see if you can do that about 15 times in a row, and obviously the Wolves have not been able to.
1st and 10. Hunter comes to the near side, caught by Beavers. Watch out, he's fast. He's at the 40 to the 35 and down at the 33-yard line. So we've seen Beavers run the ball effective. I think that might be his first reception of the night.
Yeah, and obviously he has that really quick first step and burst, and that's just a credit to the way that this Blue Jay defense plays with leverage. And what I mean by leverage is, do you know where the guy next to you is coming from? Do you need to fit that thing inside to run him to a safety? Do you need to fit that thing outside to run him back to a linebacker? That's how you corral guys like Beavers that can run like he does. And the Blue Jays and Kelly Beebe are taught so well defensively. They do it so well that it's just hard for them to find room to run.
From the 33-yard line, 1st down and 10. Hunter wanting to throw. Here's pressure again and throws this one into the Shawnee bench for the incomplete pass. Pressure once again. Clock stops, 5:07.
When you're trying to throw a bubble, or they throw that quick, and then it looks like the quick, and then that receiver comes under, so the quick and under. When you're having to hurry the quicks and the bubbles, you know the pass rush is pretty effective, and that's exactly where Shawnee's at. Literally, it's a 3-step drop, get rid of the ball, and you still have guys hitting you. Well, they have it empty here. If I was Hunter, I would not have the ball very long.
Blue Jays about to bring 5. Here they come. Hunter rolls, throws it. One-on-one coverage. Caden Ballard-Stevenson nicely breaks this one up. He's been called for a couple penalties tonight, but this one was well played there by the sophomore.
Boy, he is such a good athlete. He's so confident. His mentality sets up for the corner position so well because he has so much confidence that even if something goes wrong, he's going to believe in himself enough to have that short memory that you need to have at corner. And he is another one of these guys in this program that I think can be a dominant player at that position. He's a great quarterback too on the other side, but getting his chance at corner for the varsity playing time early in his career, he is going to be tremendous at that spot. He has great ball skills, great eye-hand coordination, great balance, sets up perfect for him.
3rd down and 10 from the Guthrie 33-yard line. Wolves empty back set, 5 receivers. Throw to the far side, and it's caught. And then breaks the tackle 20, 15 to the 10. The Wolves try to get in the end zone for the first time at the 5. And the Wolves are into the end zone. Touchdown, Shawnee with the touchdown. I believe that's going to be the freshman. With the score, it is Jalen Orange with the 33-yard touchdown reception from Heath Hunter.
You see just how talented they are. This is a Shawnee team that if you fall asleep, they can do just what we saw. We've seen Beaver and how quick he is, Orange, with the first step and then the burst. If you take a bad angle, if you leave your feet, you're not going to recover. That play right there, as impressive as that was from Hunter to Orange, that's how good the Blue Jay defense has played, because that's how talented this Shawnee offense is.
Wolves on for the PAT on the right side of your radio dial. As you drive across north central Oklahoma, Skinner's the holder. The kick goes to the right side, but just inside the right upright. And the Wolves are on the board, 35-7. Jays in the lead, 4:44 left in this one. Timeout from Jelsma. This is Guthrie Bluejay football.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
Sonic has every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
For sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Oh, Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
Jelsma Staidum, 4:44 left in this one. Shawnee Wolves on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. 33-yard touchdown pass. Heath Hunter to his wide receiver, Jalen Orange. Wolves go 68 yards in 9 plays, just under 3 minutes. So your new score, Guthrie 35, Shawnee 7. That's been your John Vance Motor scoring summary. Speaking of scores from the state of Oklahoma, Del City taking it to Bishop McGinnis tonight. Score there is 41-7.
And you just wonder, new coaching staff, how that's going to work out at Bishop McGinnis, losing Justin Jones from a year ago.
Marcel Sones on this return here from the goal line as he gets out across the 20, close to the 25-yard line. Jays will have it there, first down and 10. Other scoring update in El Reno tonight, Piedmont Wildcats trailing the El Reno Indians by a score of 27-21. And the big one in Midwest City, number 1 Carl Lambert, 2-time defending state champions. Midwest City, a high-quality 6A Division II school. Mm-hmm. Titans lead that game 28-7 in the fourth quarter.
Piedmont, and then, we knew when Chuck Atchison took over the job at El Reno, the head coaching job there, that they were going to become good, especially offensively. Mm-hmm. Well, how are they going to play defense? You know what they do? They go and hire Luke Davis from Guthrie, and they have him call their defense. And so they have Coach Atchison calling offense, Luke Davis calling defense. It does not get a whole lot better than that.
Well, handoff for the Blue Jays here. It'll get 1 yard from the 24 to the 25-yard line. Jays just trying to run out this 4:25 left in the fourth quarter on top, 35-7. Of course, we'll have the Terra Insure Group post-game show after this. Noble last night defeated Newcastle 42-21. Altus beat Lawton last night also 45-35, so a good win for the Altus Bulldogs.
No doubt. Are they still running the Flex Bone down there? That's a cool stadium down there too. Kind of reminds you of the Rock.
They call it the Rock, actually.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah. Second down 9 for the Blue Jays. Jackson Waddell, play clock down to 6. He takes the snap in. Little lead play for him. He trips or kind of goes down at the same time at the 25. No pickup there. Bishop Kelly, Booker T. Washington in a close ball game. Booker T. Washington, perhaps the most talented team of all the teams out there. Of course, Millwood might have an argument, but Booker T. Washington leads that one in at Booker T. Washington 10-7.
Millwood, the 3-time defending state champions.
Soon to be 3-time state championship. By the way, they beat Heritage Hall last night. It was the battle of the state champions, and Millwood took down Heritage Hall last night.
Yep.
We'll get some of the larger schools updates here in just a matter of moments as well.
I want to give another big thanks to our, of course, you can't see it if you're listening on the radio, but if you're on GNP TV watching the video feed, a big thanks to Brad Hinkle again. A wonderful job he's done this evening.
Jackson options off to Adams on the far side on that 3rd down and 10 play. Lost a yard on a play, so the Jays will punt this one. It's right under 3 minutes left to play in this ball game. Again, coming up is the Terra Insure Group post-game show.
It's going to be a happy one. We're going to have a lot of candidates for the player of the game this week.
And we'll have that downstairs. We'll have the Guthrie North Church Player of the Game in that TIG postgame show. Of course, we'll hear from head coach Kelly Beebe. Got to be proud of that defense, proud of that offense.
No doubt.
Disappointed they had a punt tonight for the first time, but
it was a good punt, a 39-yard net.
Good punt. Here's the second punt of the night for David Vargas and the Blue Jays.
See if he can get a spiral out of this one. He kind of knuckleballed the last one, didn't he?
He's at his 10, so snap on the money. And there's a good end-over-end kick, and it will be fumbled at the 30, picked up around the 27-yard line. Here's a return by Beavers, quickly out to the 40, 45 midfield. And Campbell Leach will tackle him at the Guthrie 45-yard line. So the Wolves have 153 to work with here in the ballgame. Again, Guthrie on top, 35-7.
And this is a Shawnee offense that just simply is looking to improve and get better like they did last possession where they scored. Warren scored on that kind of that deep play where he made a couple guys miss. That Beaver kid's quick, isn't he? Kind of has that Raphael Denson look to him. If you remember him from the early 90s from Ardmore. You remember him?
I'm sorry.
Raphael Denson.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of has that look to him, doesn't he?
Blue Jay, there's a penalty on a play. Jays didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage, but that penalty has been declined. Heath Hunter remains in there at quarterback. A long night for him.
He's a tough dude, though, isn't he?
He is.
He's hung in there well.
First down and 10. 5 receivers. 3 on the near side. They go to the near side. It's caught. Quickly to the 36-yard line. Scout Calby with the reception. Well, pregame show, we're talking about, Guthrie was really good. Enid really hurt themselves last week. We'll really know a lot about Guthrie tonight.
And we found out.
Yeah, we
found out. This is a really good Guthrie team. We knew how well coached they were. The discipline has been fantastic.
Pass downfield, and Kel Kaufman, despite not turning his head around, will not be flagged. Good coverage there. Beavers wanted the flag, does not get it. They bring up second down and 10. 1:25 left in this one.
I think maybe if that was a 35-28 game, might have got a flag on that, but being 35-6, you reward the outstanding effort by Kaufman.
Motion, offense.
Wolves will be backed up. Wolves had 14 penalties last week, a lot better tonight.
We give them the down back, but now it's going to be further to go. 2nd and 7 is what it's going to end up being.
1:25, and the game clock will be rolling as soon as the ball is snapped. Empty backfield. Beavers got away with the false start. Marcel Owens with the interception at the 30-yard line. Here's the return, 35 to the 40. He's at midfield. Has a couple of blockers, one guy to beat. He's at the 25 to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Icing on the cake. Blue Jays 41-7 strike up the Guthrie High School Marching Band.
I love that song, and I love this Guthrie Blue Jay defense. Just everything they do has been aggressive, whether it be the rush and sending linebackers in a 7-man rush, or whether it be the way they tackle, or the way that they play the ball in the air from a secondary perspective. And yet, another defensive score on the season for this Blue Jay team. That makes 6 defensive scores in the first 2 weeks of play. Wow.
David Vargas on for the PAT. 68 seconds left in this one. Second interception for the defense tonight. C.J. Ward had one earlier in the ball game. Vargas on for the PAT. Snap, hold, kick. Can he get over the rock? He does, and the Blue Jays lead this one now 42-7. It's all Blue Jays here tonight on the home opener 2018. Timeout. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
Accepting the loss of a loved one is the hardest thing we will ever have to do. At Nelson Monument Company, formerly Warren Monument Company, we aim to make selecting a memorial an easy and healing process. With our compassionate service, state-of-the-art design software, and our new and improved facility, we offer the best overall experience in the industry. Nelson Monument Company, located at 5305 South Division Street in Guthrie. Give us a call at 405-282-3220.
Hi, this is Asa Nelson, and from our family to yours, we would be honored to gain your trust.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
It's always good to be a Blue Jay, but it is a great night to be a Blue Jay as they lead the Shawnee Wolves here with 68 seconds left in the ballgame, 42-7, alongside Brad Hinkle, Phil Nichols, Craig Flick, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans, Daryl Jones back in our Stillwater studio, and it's just been a good night for the Jays, getting ready to go 2-0 on the season. Hawk City Wildcats coming in next week. That's the third 6A opponent the Jays will play in the non-district, and then a bye week. And then you get into district play.
Fun time of year. The Cowboys started last night, not very impressively, but with a good win. OU starts tomorrow with Florida Atlantic, and who is their coach?
Lane Kiffin, who was voted number 4 most overrated coach in the country. But the one thing I think we all agree, it needs to get a little bit cooler. I'm ready for cool weather.
It was hot today.
It was.
It was hot today.
I don't want to be freezing, but I don't want to be sweating.
Yeah. I like this weather, to be honest with you. It does wear me down some, but I would much rather have it be like this than be cold.
Well, and the air conditioning is not working at its full capability here. It's 81 degrees all day in this press box.
Yeah, see, it hasn't felt hot in here. Usually I'm whining about that.
Well, we had brought in a fan.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. I like to be cold indoors and hot outdoors. Does that make any sense? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
A little pitch to Beavers on the far side. First and 10 from the 35. Wow. Quickly the 40, 45. Down at the 48-yard line. He just shows his great speed there. Dimitri Beavers, just a sophomore, so he will have a couple more shots at the Blue Jays. Again, Shawnee starts 8 sophomores, a lot of new faces on the offensive line, and then they also got the one freshman, and they got a great quarterback, and they got 2 good receivers as well, and they're just going to have to find Hunter some more time to get rid of the football.
You know what? You know what the moral to this story is, first 2 weeks? You don't want to be experienced playing Coach Beebe and Coach Mick. You just don't. I mean, you want to have kids that are used to playing at this level.
First and 10 for the Wolves from the 47. Ball caught, tackled immediately at midfield. The flag comes in the backfield. This one might be another rough in the pass, or maybe a holding. It was a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage.
Surely you wouldn't call a holding in this situation, would you?
I thought he was going to throw it around where the quarterback got hit, man. He moved it up a little bit closer to the line.
I'd be quite disappointed if he called a holding here. As good as these referees are. Okay. You got to call that the hands of the face by an offensive lineman. That's dangerous. I wouldn't, as good as these referees were, I was thinking he's not calling a holding on that.
No. He wants to get out of here more than we do. He's got to drive home.
Unlike last week's referees where you're just kind of like, dude, eat your flag, man. Right? Am I alone?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I didn't know if I was on an island or not. I got no response.
Clock rolling, 18 seconds, 17 seconds. Stay tuned. Terry and Sugar Group postgame show. Interviews down on the field. Beavers gets this one. This one might be the last play if he can stay in bounds. He's backtracking, going backwards at the 30.
CJ Ward on this
35, and he does go out of bounds at the 40, and the clock guy will stop at the 4-second mark. We have another flag thrown. I certainly think he ran a lot of yards. The flag's in the middle of the field. All that for 0 yards.
Yep. And 4 seconds left.
He did take 24 seconds.
Or four seconds. Yeah, that play took 20 seconds to develop. We can live with that. We need batteries in that little body pack. What do you think? Or a new?
It's been in and out.
Or a new, probably a new microphone.
The one time I don't mute it, and
oh, yeah.
Of course it's in my ear, it sounded perfect.
Mm-hmm. I think we need new microphones, what we need.
4 seconds left in this one.
Ball all the way back to the 24-yard line.
North Church player of the game coming up in the TIG post-game show. We'll hear from him. And now Guthrie defense and the Blue Jay crowd will come up to their feet and applaud their Blue Jays on another great performance to open up the 2018 season, and that is the ball game. Blue Jays win it. Final score over the Shawnee Wolves, 42-7. Blue Jays improve to 2-0 on the season. The Shawnee Wolves fall to 0-2 on the year. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, it's the Terra Insure Group post-game show. Don't want to miss it. Kelly Beebe and the North Church player of the game coming up after this. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football.
Hello, Blue Jay family. I'm Pastor Hetty. I want to invite you to North Church Guthrie, where you can expect fun, Bible-centered kids and student ministries, life-giving groups, engaging worship, and powerful messages. I would love to see you and your family at North Church Guthrie this Sunday at 9:30 or 11 a.m. at Guthrie Upper Elementary School, where our vision is to love God, love people, and follow Jesus. And remember, God loves you, and go win.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years.
I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, track, or court, but in the classroom as well. If integrity, honesty, and accessibility are important to you, call Farm Bureau at 620-4920 and ask for Merritt. I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
It's a beautiful day to introduce people to the golden goodness of Golden Chick. So this is your first time you had Golden Chick. What do you think?
Absolutely delicious.
These are 100% tenderloin, no mystery meat.
I love them. They're so juicy and tender.
How long do you think it takes to marinate a perfect piece of chicken?
Probably
20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20. An hour?
What if I told you 24 hours?
Wow.
I feel like one of those infomercial guys. But wait, there's more time marinating the chicken. One taste, and you're golden. Golden chicken. Come on, I need this back.
Okay.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Glenda here with Jim and our Red River Roofing crew. You've known us for 16 years of quality roofing services, and we are also proud installers of Diamond Coat pre-finished siding.
This quality wood siding product is scratch resistant, comes in custom color option, and will actually increase your home's resale value.
With a 30-year no-fade warranty, this siding is sure to impress.
Durability is #1, so choose a stylish exterior siding that will last.
Call today to boost your home's curb appeal with beautiful Diamond Coat siding. Visit us at redriverroofing.com.
Coming up next, it's the Terra Insure Group postgame show featuring stats, highlights, plays of the game, on-field interviews, and the player of the game.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
And we welcome you inside the Terra Insure Group post-game show. As you see right there on our video feed, a very happy Guthrie Blue Jay huddle as the Blue Jays defeat the Shawnee Wolves. Final score tonight, 42-7. Alongside Brad Hinkle, Craig Flick, Phil Nichols, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Evans. This is the home opener for the Blue Jays after going on the road last week, defeating the Enid Plainsmen. Jays with another convincing win here tonight, 42-7. They moved to 2-0 on the year. Shawnee Wolves now 0-2 on the year. And the Blue Jays, as we mentioned earlier, will be back home next week for the only back-to-back home games this year. After the Ponca game, it's away, home, away, home, away, home. So kind of gets you the feel there as the Blue Jays wrap it up here. And parents and families and teammates and all that good stuff have made their way down onto the field. And here in just a matter of moments, we'll have our Guthrie North Church player of the game and see if we are hooked up. Nope, Casey is not hooked up. So let's just immediately go downstairs with tonight's Guthrie North Church player of the game. With that, we go downstairs with Phil Nichols.
Well, he made it easy tonight, guys. There's no doubt. Marcellus Owens, senior wideout, special teams player, defensive back, whatever he needs to be. And I told him, guys, we're all most proud of his leadership. It's been incredible to watch these first 2 weeks. Marcellus, great job, very, very well deserved. I'm going to hand over a headset and let Chris and Casey take it from here.
Marcellus is putting his headphones on right now, and we'll get to a highlight here in a minute for you so you can hear it, Marcellus. But what a great game you guys played. And I'll tell you what, man, this is a group of players that have dedicated themselves in the offseason to playing as a team first. It's a group that's playing for each other. We've always known how talented you guys are, but the discipline and the way you're playing together is very impressive so far, isn't it, Marcellus?
Yeah, Coach BB just told me, like, personally, he was like, I need you as a leader, even if you're not picked as one. So I took that and helped my teammates out, and so we got the dub out.
Marcellus tonight, 4 receptions, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns. What's funner, offense or defensive scoring?
Offense, definitely.
Well, and talk about, some of the play, of course, that last interception you had, and you had a bunch of plays. Take us through your night offensively, defensively, and some of the scores you had.
Coach Mick was like, this freshman cornerback, so we're going to have to take advantage of that. And so I was running my best routes for Jackson, and he was just hitting me on the spot.
You had one play where you had Brody Hinkle, who's been so good on third downs. Jackson's been able to hit him. He ran that little out route, and then you slipped underneath him and caught that little underpass, and then outran everybody into the south end zone. Take us through that play.
Yeah, Brody, I told Brody there's 2 people guarding me, so he's going to get the ball. And then Jackson just threw it to me, and so I just took off racing.
Well, you mentioned Brody, you mentioned Jackson. These are guys that you played multiple sports with. Talked to this with Brody a week ago. You played so many sports, so many games with these guys. You've grown up with them. It has to make it a lot easier being such good friends off the field.
Yeah, it's really good. We're there for each other everywhere we go, so it's good to have them.
Was there any revenge coming into your mind? I know you had Will Phillips last week that it kind of put some bulletin board material out there for you. You guys handled that very well. Shawnee defeated you a year ago. Was there any extra motivation as far as that side of it goes, wanting to get back at them?
We took an L last year, and so everybody was like, we got to come back for revenge for all the teams that we lost to.
What's it like? Jelsma is one of those special places that a lot of people don't get to play in. What was it like tonight coming out there as a senior for the first time this year?
Really loud. I liked it.
Well, awesome job tonight, Marcellus. You looked like probably the fastest player on the field with a group of Shawnee Wolves that have a lot of great athletes. And so congratulations to you, Marcellus. And I wanted to tell you, as the baseball coach here, I am extremely proud of you, brother. Keep it up, all right?
Thank you.
And that is Marcellus Owens, the Guthrie North Church player of the game, and we'll get him a gift certificate sometime in the near future. Okay. So congratulations, Marcellus Owens, the Guthrie North Church player of the game. Blue Jays win it here tonight by a final score of 42-7.
Yep, they do. We can do whatever you want.
Let's give it a try. Let's see if it's going to work.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it.
That's not going to work. All right.
Okay, that's the end of that.
Okay, we got it out of our system.
Okay.
Blue Jays had a 21-0 lead at halftime, 21 points in the second half. Jays win it. Final score of 42-7. Take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the head football coach of the Guthrie Blue Jays, who are now 2-0 on the year. This is the Terra Insure Group postgame show.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans, Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
After this, we bring you more from the stadium as the Terra Insure Group postgame show continues.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Welcome back inside the Terra Insure Group postgame show. Blue Jays win it tonight over the Shawnee Wolves 42-7. Be sure to stop by Terra Insure Group, 2403 South Division, or simply across the Beacon Drive-In. Go see my good friends Seth Robbins, Dennis Oaks, Jason Herzels. Blue Jays through and through. And once again, glad to have them on the broadcast. And they bring us the postgame show each and every game this Blue Jay season. Jays win it tonight. Final score 42-7. Time now to go downstairs and visit with the head coach of the Guthrie Blue Jays, Kelly Beebe, and Phil Nichols.
Guys, I am here with head football coach Kelly Beebe. Coach, we talked about in the pregame that we were going to learn a lot about ourselves this week. Last week, good win, but Enid's down. We know that. So we thought, this is the team that throws the ball. We'll learn about our DBs, learn about our defensive line, pass rush. Boy, we got all the answers we wanted tonight.
Well, Enid's down everywhere except that tailback spot as far as I remember. And I think playing against that caliber of an athlete last week helped us this week in our preparation and our angles. As much adrenaline as I have right now for getting a win over a Shawnee team like this, and we've had many games with Shawnee, but never. I don't think this has ever had one in a 42-7 game. So hats off to our kids and coaches. The thing that keeps sticking out to me right now is that 7-8 minute drive we had in the third quarter on the ground, and that brings back oceans of memories of getting a lead and then just imposing our will on a team. And I thought that really broke their back in the third quarter.
Yeah, Blue Jays. Coach hit 10 plays, 91 yards officially that we have, and a 1 yard run there by Adams
on that drive. Yeah. I mean you guys know what I'm saying about that. I mean, we had a fast start. We threw some touchdown passes, but then we got a little bit of a lead, and it was time to go on a drive, and we haven't been able to do that in a while. And to control that clock like that and chew that clock up like that, I thought was huge.
Coach, unofficial, we have 458 yards of offense. Shawnee just 158. A lot of that came toward the end, and I mean, you brought pressure and every single play. I feel like, and it was not just one or two Blue Jays. It was 7 or 8 getting to Heath Hunter, who's a warrior, who got up after getting popped every single time. But you guys brought the pressure the entire night, and you guys covered well as well.
Well, I don't know how many times we got to him and made him move and knocked him down and sacked him, but the pass rush was relentless, and then the guys in the back end made it hold up. He's an outstanding quarterback, guys, and we knew if he had 2.5 seconds that he'd pick us apart. I thought Dominic Gooseby played an incredible, really a spoke safety technique. We just call it loose, out on heads on number 2 receiver versus 20 personnel right there. Their number 1 target, number 1 right there. There was 8, 9, 10 times that kid looked for him, and Dom had him gathered up, and we had a safety behind it, and we're able to stand up in the box against a run game. So those were little components that we worked on, and it's nice to see the kids go out and execute the game plan. I thought Jackson threw it really well. We had multiple receivers catch it in crucial situations. Kicking game was good again. Not real happy with the penalties. There was, I think Coach Brown called several of them over on that sideline of theirs. But that's something we're definitely will be addressing penalty-wise. But other than that, that's about the only thing I can be upset with.
Yeah, Jackson Waddell, 9 of 15 passing unofficially, 239 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 different wide receivers tonight, Casey.
Coach, and you mentioned that 91-yard drive, and to do that, you have to have multiple running backs. We talk about you don't necessarily have that one Ide Alexander type running back this year. but you do have multiple guys that have different skills that kind of give you a stable web of unique talents. But whenever you talk about them, sometimes you forget about your quarterback, Jackson Waddell. That kid can run, man. I mean, he's efficient in the passing game, very tough, and then he can run very well.
Absolutely.
And not to slide Justin Adams, Coach, 24 carries, 97 yards.
Absolutely. And Justin ran better, and his health continues to improve in his lower body, and that started showing up tonight. We were also able to utilize Kel Kaufman a little bit more in that backfield with us getting Hector Gooseby back in the defensive rotation in the backfield. And so all those components kind of played together. But yeah, when Jackson gets the design run, or whenever he reads the keep concepts, he's dangerous. You know, he's a 4.6 type kid.
Yeah.
And he's still a lot stronger than he looks, I promise you.
And the thing about Justin Adams, Coach, it just after first contact, he's always falling forward. He seems like he gets 2, 3, sometimes 4 yards after he's hit every time. Positive yards.
We got some big first downs, you know, and you guys know me, defense and first downs win football games.
Yep.
You know, we got up 7, and I told Mick to start juicing the clock. So.
Yep. And you talk about juicing the clock. Early on, you're using the left side of that offensive line. You went to some of your misdirection game. Then late, you used the right side of your offensive line. So you showed that you could run the ball over each side of your line. Total dominance.
Parker caught a cramp, and we were able to roll Cody Hickman down there at that guard. And he's a big body, and he's strong. And we did a lot of washing with him, and was very effective. You know, I think you guys maybe gave Marcellus player of the game.
Yeah.
And he had the catch and the pick, but I'm going to tell you, his blocking on the perimeter tonight was sensational. And, you know, those skinny linemen, Coach Michoud calls them, you know. I thought defensive line-wise, Coach Young and Coach Woodard had those guys. I mean, David Campbell, Rainsy, Doolittle, you know, Chase Stevens. Of course, I've already mentioned, you know, Dominic. And in the back end, those guys played lights out. JD, you know, 7, you know, Caden held up on their sideline all night long. I think he earned 1 pass interference over there. I don't think there's any way he got the other one.
Yeah.
And this roughing we got right here on that one drive that extended was
I would agree
was
with both
terrible.
of those assessments.
Was terrible, but anyway, we hired those officials, and
it's a good crew.
We won the game, and they're one of the best crews in the state of Oklahoma.
That's why you could say that, because they are one of the best crews.
They absolutely are.
Hey,
so
Coach,
they probably know what they're talking about.
Another big thing that you take pride in is conditioning. It was almost 100 degrees for the third straight day. How do you feel you guys felt tonight?
Well, you know, again, I went with no shoulders until we went to defense pregame, and I think that kept some fluids in our bodies, and I don't think there was any doubt that
no shoulder pads,
Yeah, I don't think there was any doubt that our conditioning was superior in the second quarter. In most of the second half, they kind of started dinking us there.
Yeah.
In that 3x2 set where we didn't have open side pressure, and you know, our defensive line just couldn't get there. There wasn't time to do it. So I felt like our conditioning was outstanding. We didn't have a kid cramp or leave the game. So, you know, of course, we worked these guys to death this week in the heat, and you know, we knew it was going to be hot tonight.
Coach, opener here at Jelsma Stadium. I know to put one of these things on, I see it firsthand. It takes a whole lot of people putting a whole lot of work in. I know there's a lot of people that you want to thank for how well this first game went for you tonight.
Oh, guys, I mean, you know, you got John Poe, you got Chap, you got the Booster Club, you got the guys in the box, you know, you got the voice of the Blue Jays, you got the radio crew, you got the chain gang, you got the band, you got the cheer. I mean, and that's what it should be down here. It should be an event. And you know, the football team should come out and give people a reason to come. And, you know, that's kind of what we tried to do tonight, was just go out and play as hard as we could play, lay it on the line for the fans and for each other, and see where we were at after 48 minutes. And fortunately, we came out on top.
6A schedule continues next week in a back-to-back home game as Ponca City comes to town. Enid defeats them tonight 20-13, but another 6A opponent coming in next week, and then a bye week after that.
Okay, I hadn't heard that Enid score. So, yeah, Ponca, they'll be a different animal, new head coach. Scott Harmon, I've coached against him previously when he was at Pawnee. He's an old OSU boy. He'll be a real old school power counter, physical. So it'll be a much different Ponca team than we've seen over the years as he tries to bring his style of football in. So it'll be an interesting matchup. It really will be. I'm glad we got him at home.
Absolutely. Coach, congratulations on the win, on the home opener. Have a great week of practice, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, I'm going to appreciate you so much for what you do for our kids and our coaches. I'm going to give Phil a hug, and I'm going to go get a burger.
Absolutely. That is the head coach of the Guthrie Blue Jays, Coach Kelly Beebe, as the Blue Jays take down the Shawnee Wolves. Final score, 42-7. Take a timeout as the Terra Insure Group postgame show continues after this.
Hello, Blue Jay family. I'm Pastor Hetty. I want to invite you to North Church Guthrie, where you can expect fun, Bible-centered kids and student ministries, life-giving groups, engaging worship, and powerful messages. I would love to see you and your family at North Church Guthrie this Sunday at 9:30 or 11 a.m. at Guthrie Upper Elementary School, where our vision is to love God, love people, and follow Jesus. And remember, God loves you, and go win.
Don't go away. More of the Terra Insure Group postgame show in a moment.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
Terra Insure Group postgame show continues here inside Jelsma Staidum. Ponca City Wildcats will be here 1 week from tonight, and the Wildcats, the Blue Jays took it to them last year, Casey, 48-0.
Yep.
And they as Coach B mentioned, new head coach Scott Harmon, who we've covered before with the Pawnee Black Bears
and
Hominy,
yeah.
and he knows how to win football games, and they might not win a whole lot of games this year, Ponca City, and they might not win a lot of whole games last year, but if there's anyone that can bring them back, it would be someone like Scott Harmon.
What he'll do is, if you're a kid in that area and you want to be a football player, you'll go to Ponca City.
Yeah.
That's what will end up happening. Mm-hmm. And, he won a state title 2 years ago with Hominy. He produced Mark Moore's, I believe it was Mark Moore. It was his son, Xavier, can't remember his last name, but ended up going to the University of Tulsa. They won a state title 2 years ago at Hominy. So he is a coach that is used to winning state titles, and if he didn't think he could get that program to where he wanted it, he wouldn't be there, because he's from Hominy. He was coaching at Hominy. He'd won a state title at Hominy. So why would he leave Hominy and go to Ponca if he didn't think he could win there, right?
Right. Blue Jays win it 42-7 tonight over Shawnee. Some real quick numbers here tonight. Guthrie, 458 yards of total offense. Shawnee finishes with 158 yards of offense. Guthrie, 239 on the ground, 219 on the ground. It's pretty well balanced right there. Shawnee Wolves, negative 26 rushing the football. Of course, when you add in 5 or 6 sacks, negative 26 is about as close to zero as they were the entire night.
I promise you that the first player for Shawnee that got on the bus tonight,
quarterback,
either that or he was the last one, because he can barely walk right now, because Heath Hunter had a long night of picking himself up off the turf.
Blue Jays picked up 19 first downs tonight. Shawnee had 16. Blue Jays' other 19 first downs, 11 came on the ground, 7 through the air, and 1 of them came on a penalty. Blue Jays were pretty good on third down conversions tonight. They were 6 of 11. That's over 54%. Jackson Waddell, another solid night for him, throwing the football, 9 of 15, 239 passing, 4 touchdowns. Did have that 1 interception, but it was late in the half. He just kind of threw it up there. Running game was solid as well, Casey. Justin Adams, 24 carries, 97 yards. Jackson Waddell, 9 carries, 76 yards. CJ had 4 carries for 34 yards. Kel Kaufman, 3 carries for 12 yards.
You know what the running game was? It was balanced, and then it was efficient. Because it was balanced, it became efficient. And whenever you have an efficient passing game, then you can get into your why-hot game. You can hit some of your chunk plays, and we saw that as well. So Jackson Waddell, an extremely efficient quarterback, throwing the ball, running the ball. Justin Adams, we said, always moving forward, gaining positive yards, almost hits the 100-yard mark. So like we said, there's not that one superstar running back, but you have a stable of 4 or 5 guys that are all pretty good. and it seems like they all bring something different to the table, and it works out really well.
Marcellus Owens tonight, 4 catches, 2 of those go to the house with touchdown grabs of 72 yards and also a 75-yard touchdown reception. Then you throw in a 63-yard interception return. Of course, he was easily the Guthrie North Church player of the game. 4 catches, 164 yards, and really didn't need a whole lot of services tonight like you did last week with Brody Hinkle and Kay Gugisberg and Talik Jackson. They were able to rest a little bit, and that's what's so good about this receiver crew is Brody Hinkle, Kay Gugisberg, and Talik Jackson are great possession receivers where Marcellus can stretch it and gives you so many options.
No doubt about it. You talk about its balance. I mean, you can throw the possession type routes. You can also hit the chunk plays. That's what that is, and that balance creates efficiency. It makes it to where you can run the ball, pass the ball. You can run the ball for 4 yards to get ahead of the chains on a first down play to open up your playbook, and or you can throw a little quick to get a 3rd down and 5 to move the chains. Then you can run it outside with a CJ and outrun everybody, or even a Jackson Waddell for a chunk running play, or you can throw a long ball to Marcellus. This offense has the ability to be efficient. It also has the ability to strike fast, which means that it's a very balanced and complete, efficient offense, and it's just been running on all cylinders the first 2 weeks of the season.
Blue Jays take down Shawnee 42-7 here inside the Rock. Take our final timeout as we wrap it up here on the Terra Insure Group postgame show. Come back for one final time. This is Blue Jay football.
When it comes to Guthrie Bluejay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
Final thoughts from the stadium are ahead on the Terra Insure Group postgame show.
When garage door problems occur, don't call a kind of service company or maybe a repair guy. Call Paul Creed at A-Team Overhead Door. Paul owns and operates his company and has over 15 years of experience in residential and commercial overhead door service. Paul provides all garage door services from repairs to installations. With free estimates, Paul will work with you to decide the best possible solution for your garage door or opener problems. Call A-Team Overhead Door today, 405-642-7065.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans, Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
Welcome back to one final time here tonight inside Jelsma Staidum. There's a few folks out on the field left to savor this moment here tonight. As Guthrie's now 2-0. Casey Porter, Chris Evans with you. Daryl Jones back in our Stillwater studio. Final segment
Wondering
here.
when we're getting off the air.
Yes, he's ready to go home, and buddy, we're going to get you home as soon as we can here in just a matter of moments. Okay, big picture here, Casey. Blue Jays 2-0. Ponca City, a team struggling for wins and a program trying to find their identity. Jays will be big favorites to win next week. They won 48-0. Now, this team ain't good enough just to show up and win, but let's say it goes perfect, a little 3-0 to begin the season against all 6A schools. Get a little bye week, and then, McGinnis got beat big
looks
tonight.
Very vulnerable.
Carl Albert's still Carl Albert, but, Carl Albert, they return 0 on defense. Now, they got some studs offensively, and so, but right now, the Jays are playing at a high level. So, big picture, there was, we thought they were going to be a playoff team the entire time, and that was never in question, but everyone automatic, and rightfully so. Carl Albert and McGinnis have been in the last 2 5A state championship games. McGinnis without their head coach, he moves on to Norman North. They bump everyone on their offensive side, and it's a long ways. We've got a long ways to go, but big picture, a lot of, it's not us on the radio broadcast. It's like the people at the Oklahoman and other places are kind of going, I think they might be officially back.
Talking about Guthrie?
Yes.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't not look at that. You're talking about a 6A1 school last week in Enid, a 6A2 school this week in Shawnee, and neither game was close. And then, like we said just a minute ago, when you look at, what this team's been able to do offensively, very impressive. What they've been able to do defensively, completely dominant. You hold a Shawnee team with very fast running backs to negative yards rushing. I don't think if you're throughout the state of Oklahoma, you can think anything other than this Guthrie team is legit.
And it helped to get the Gooseby kid back from injury, so that's always a good thing there. So, again, another solid night because we came in the game. Guthrie looked really good last week, but was Enid bad? Guthrie got lucky. And then that was our question tonight is, could Guthrie do it again? And they went above what we thought. Coach, you heard Coach Beebe say, this is weird to put 42-7 on the scoreboard against the Shawnee Wolves because we've had state championship teams that have barely been able to take down Shawnee in some great games. And again, no matter how good or how bad teams are, when Guthrie and Shawnee get together, it's usually really, really tight game. Tonight's the exception.
No doubt. And I don't think that's because Shawnee played bad. I think that's just what Guthrie forced them into.
Absolutely. Defensive pressure the entire night. Offense was
the
clicking.
way that you're able to run offensively, 91 yards. You're able to run the ball, get third down conversions, hit chunk plays. Your quarterback's just solid as a rock. It's a situation to where you have not shown a weakness yet. You have great kickers, a great kicker, I should say. The coaching, like it is every year, is just absolutely superior. So, there has been no weakness shown so far.
Marcel Sowens 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 offensively, 1 defensively. Talib Jackson gets his first touchdown as a Blue Jay. Kay Gugesberg, I believe that's his first one as a Blue Jay on the varsity squad as well. And so it's good to see those guys get in there. Of course, Justin Adams also had a 1-yard touchdown run tonight. Blue Jays, as you mentioned, Casey, a couple impressive drives tonight. 8 plays, 71 yards, 10 plays, 91 yards. And that one that Coach Beebe talked about was that 10-play, 91-yard drive.
Is that a wrap?
That is a wrap. A big thank you to Daryl back in our Stillwater studio on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI for our filmer, Brad Hinkle, his first time out.
No doubt. Great job, Brad.
Big thank you to Brad and of course, Craig Fleck on the stats.
Oh, boy.
He does a great job. And a lot of stuff that is said through my ear and retrieved, all that good stuff. Of course, Phil Nichols.
Brought in the new scoreboard tonight.
Right in the new scoreboard. I took it off. I'll pop it up.
For those of you who are watching the video, obviously, if you're driving down the road on the radio, you're wondering what in the world we're talking about. But new scoreboard graphic on our video feed, which is nice, very nice.
Yep. So, all in all, a great night to be a Blue Jays. Jays are now 2-0 on the season. The Ponca City Wildcats come in here 1 week from tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff, and we will have our pregame show beginning at 6:30 right here on 93.7 FM KSBI. We invite you to our Wednesday night show, High School Huddle. That is from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock as we talk everything high school athletics, and particularly high school football. We invite you to watch that as well. Final score for the final time here tonight in the home opener of the Jelsma Staidum here in the 2018 season. The Blue Jays take it to the Shawnee Wolves. Final score 42-7. Blue Jays 2-0. Shawnee Wolves fall to 0-2. Shawnee has a bye week this coming week, and then they take on the Carlisle Titans in 2 weeks. From our partners, Craig Fleck, Phil Nichols, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Evans. We'll talk to you next time, and as always, go Blue Jays.
You've been listening to Guthrie Blue Jay Football, home of the 4-time state champions on the Guthrie Radio Network. Guthrie Football 2018 is brought to you by Interbank, strengthening our communities through community banking. Golden Chick, the original and still the best. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world. John Vance Auto Group, where it's comfortable to buy a car. Guthrie North Church, love God, love people, follow Jesus. Mercy Hospital, Logan County, your life is our life's work. And Eskridge Chevrolet, a name you can trust for over 50 years. Guthrie Blue Jay Football is also brought to you by F&M Bank, Guthrie Tag Agency, A-Team Overhead Door, Nelson Monument Company, Hayes Funeral Home, Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33, Red River Roofing, and Merritt Roberts Farm Bureau, Oklahoma.